everybody. Joined in the commentary here with me is Greater Manchester star player Andrew Cairns.
Afternoon, Alan. Yeah.
Right, we're just going to join a second round game between Callum Wright and Steve Morrey. Scores as it is now is Morrey 13, Wright 7. Well, verdict of what's gone on this morning, and
it's been a very, very interesting morning. There's been some fantastic bowling, and all those that are sat at home and missing it, you are missing it, believe me. There's been some really top draw performances. Ben Harris stands out. He's put them awfully close. Wayne Ditchfield's got past two very good players and played really well. It's just been top bowling after top bowling. There's been a couple of upsets, which always keep the crowd happy. But it's been a really good day so far. And the weather's held. We thought we might get a bit of a shower earlier. The green's playing nice. It's all set for another wonderful afternoon at the Waterloo.
Yeah, I mean, past winners, Gary and Graham going out first game, they were the bookies' favourites and all that. Quite a surprise, really.
Well, it was. If you watch the games, maybe the results weren't a surprise. I think Gary touched on it in the interview he had with Mel. He didn't play particularly well at all. He was very patchy, very in and out. Carl got a good early lead and Gary came back and he looked like taking the lead at about 12-13, I think it was. Carl's played a real ball and run out. So yeah, Gary you could see he was disappointed with himself, how he played, didn't do himself justice.
Not like he can on here.
No, he didn't play well and he's touched upon it there. Just a patchy season all round from him and
yeah.
For him a patchy season's winning the Waterloo and two Champion of Champions qualifiers, but
the rest of what we'd strive to do.
Absolutely. And Graham's game was a strange one. He never looked in any trouble really, and Steve came back at him and he just found some good balls to save game and then scrambled out. He played a really good second to last end, and he got away with a very poor lead at the last end. And Graham will probably be disappointed that he's not won, but anyway, Steve's still playing and he's in full control against Callum.
Yeah, I mean, Callum, easy game, first game, he nearly whitewashed his Wayne Rogers. Really did, but he's coming up against it in this game.
Yeah, he looked like he had a bit of a solo trial, really. He fully dominated the game like he tends to, and Wayne never gave him any opposition at all. Whereas with Steve, he's got a completely different game on his hands. Steve's been the one dominating it. Callum's looked a little subdued. He's not put him as close as his first game, and you can see with the score that he's just not going his way at the minute. Can't just see who's in at this end. That last ball looks like it's just
gone up tight, isn't it?
Still giving it a good coating of looking at. He likes his own. Probably need the measures. They've been on a lot. I wish I had £1 for every blazer I'd seen today.
Yeah. Yeah, a bit disappointing down the side here, as you can see the crowd in front of the barriers and stepping on the green. It's a little bit difficult to view.
Yeah, I mean, there is a good crowd here. They should be very happy with the number of people that's turned up. It's a shame that some of them are stood on the green and stood on the path around the green. It's very awkward to get around. I hope there's not any emergencies that we need to evacuate at any time soon, because they'll struggle getting out.
Yeah, and you say, as more people have a few more to drink and start encroaching on the green, and it's not great.
Well, this is that Midlands disease you've brought up with you, Alan, I'm afraid.
Sorry for that.
You have more spectators on green than you have bowlers down there.
Yeah. Well, I'm measuring again.
Must be tight.
Yeah. Yeah, especially people on the green, especially in the Warwick and Worcester League. They always have their captains allowed on the green all the way through the matches. So they tend to encroach on the green. It's pretty natural to them.
Well,
Murray gets one more, 14-7.
Bit of a surprise, really. Most people would have gone for Wraight, have been favourite with the bookies on the heat, but he's had a lot of game time on the green recently, as Steve. He had a good run in the Waterloo.
Yeah.
Callum didn't
not his
get
favourite green.
No, not. He's arguably too big for his game.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he can't play a distance, but it's not his preferred choice. And the way the green's playing today, he's suiting him his game, but he's not getting the chance to play it. Steve's dominating him, and he's deciding to go a little bit further than Callum's comfortable with.
Yeah. I mean, he played a mark against Wayne right over the middle of the green. Played it very well, but like I said, he had no opposition at all. So, no competition in his first game. He sort of strolled into this game now, and he's struggling a bit. He doesn't look comfortable, does he?
He doesn't. He's not got a length. He's overreached with that one there. They're playing about 40 yards. Steve's played a reasonable lead, but Callum's not close to beating it, really. He just doesn't look with it at the minute to me, Callum. Very, very confident player, like a lot of these Midlands lads, and he might be even a bit too old to be put in that bracket now, Callum.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a bit more of a squeak. It just needs a length and it wins it. Yeah, good ball.
Yeah, as Mel said earlier with Gary, a lot of the Midlands lads, they're playing with a lot of confidence. Greg, Ryan, Ben, they're looking good.
Well, they certainly are. I think bowls is a massive confidence game. I remember Keith Rudman, the famous bowls pundit. He told me it was 90% confidence, 10% ability.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's so far off, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know there's times I go on a green and think I can't be beat, and there's other times I go on thinking I can't win.
Yeah. And
you achieve what you set out to do, really. So.
Yeah, these lads. I mean, I see a lot of them, the Midlands lads, especially in the Summit League, in the Super League down there, and they're absolutely brimming. They really are. And the thing is, with them, they're all really good mates. They holiday together, they play bowls together, they play in doubles competitions and all sorts.
Well, Callum got in and went to the middle of the green and didn't really play he didn't nail a lead, gave Steve a bit of room, and Steve nailed it instead, and he's looking like he's going to get an easy 2 here. Certainly got one. He can't see him losing the end from this point.
You get by. Yeah, makes a double.
Very quick, just round the crown,
I said it doesn't look great, the green, but as everyone said, it's playing really, really well, and it's a surprise to see the green running so quick.
Well, it always tends to get running for this time of year, the Waterloo finals day and the Champ of Champs. Always generally in good condition and running okay, but this is the quickest I've seen it at this time of year.
Right. So the game 16-8 Murray. Coming down to this, he's played this mark a bit now, down to this corner.
He has played it well as well.
He's
put a lot of pressure on Callum to get involved in the game, and I don't know, Steve, he's impressed me again today. Played a decent lead, just going to touch the jack.
Yeah, good ball.
Just over a foot off. Callum needs to be beating these, really. Not on a bad road, just needs a length now. Big song and a dance, this.
Yeah,
good
ball.
one.
Yeah, good reply.
Well, he needs a few more of those. What can Steve do? He's played through.
He's tight. Is he tight? Just inside it. Got to peg away.
He had the right line, but not just enough pace. He played to reach it. Needed a bit more.
Rolls in for 2. Yeah. Right, keeps him in the game. Callum's jack. That's 10-16. Yeah, I thought he'd do this. One of Callum's traits down the side of greens. You know, he opened it, like you said, and the size of this green doesn't really suit Callum. He short games this thing, and he openly admits it. His firing is very good. So, right, back with the game. Morrey 17, Wraight 10.
Yeah, his little tactic of going up the edge didn't really work for him there. I think he falls into the trap sometimes that a lot of people do on here, and they just send the jack 5 yards further than they normally would.
Yeah, because of the size of the green.
Because of the size of the green. He's gone close to 30 yards with that jack then.
Yeah.
And all right, you're going up an edge. It doesn't look that far, but it's a long way.
Yeah.
And you know, it's 5 yards further than he would normally go. So easy to fall into the trap. He's certainly not reached that jack anyway.
Yeah. And just looking at his body language now, I know Callum well, and he's just not happy.
Yeah, what he needs is somebody in crowd to start laying into him, and that'll get him fired up again.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just happening for him. He doesn't look like he's much further than his first here. Can it run?
He's certainly not going to win.
Another one to Morrey.
Right, 18-10.
Yeah, he'll be looking at the finishing line now, thinking last 8 coming up. Not sure who it's looking like he's be playing. It's Liam Griffin and Richie Goddard, I think. Looking at the long way from the scoreboards. 7-6. Liam Griffin 7, Richie Goddard 6 in the last 16 games on the green, and there's also Ben Harris and Ryan Prosser, sorry, and that's I think 18-16 to Ryan. Although Harris looks like he's got a 2, it's looking like 18 apiece in that game. That's been a end-to-end stuff. Not played as well as he has in his first game, but it's certainly up for it.
Yeah, the way those two play, Ben, he's up and after everything, whereas Ryan always looks so laid back and not a care in the world.
Well, back to the game we're concentrating on. Steve's gone full corners, maybe 5 yard out of the corners, led one a yard wide, perfect length. There's a few balls just in the way from the Griffin Goddard game. Shifting them in so Callum can have a view of the jack, and turned his peg. Steve came finger peg at this, and Callum's coming at it thumb peg. Needs to peg a lot now. Needs to peg a lot.
Just
done enough.
Yeah, perfect length again.
Steve's on a road, but he's not on a road. He's looking for good. Can he rest it?
Oh, he has.
Made a double.
Yeah.
2 shot. He didn't mean it, but he's made it.
He'll take it.
Callum just needs to tighten it up a little bit. Road's looking good. All about his pace now.
Too far here?
Certainly moving.
Too far here.
Needs to stop.
Yeah, 2 to Morrey, that's well, he said he's looking at the finish line now.
Yeah. It's very quick round the edges as well, where people have been on the green standing. Just, you know, it's quick anyway. It's been cut down. The people standing on the green just flatten the grass a little bit.
Yeah, that's 2.
Stiggers, his crowd are calling him, looking definite, certain he's got 2. Can't believe Callum's looking at it.
Yeah, I think he's just playing for a bit of time, stay on the green a bit longer.
Possibly
he's a good judge, Callum is as well, and he knew that.
Would have needed an earthquake to affect that end. 20, going for the wire. One more.
Yeah, going straight. Oh. I think he was going straight back for the corners then. He's made a sort of 3/4 just over mark.
Yeah, tricky little mark, really. It's all pace off the crown. So, let you know, in the Prosser Harris game, Ben Harris has he's 19-18 and led a 4-inch ball at the side of the jack.
Steve Morrey, yeah, decently. That's
not so bad. I mean, that's the danger with this mark, just sticking it to back. You think it's going to do it, and it just starts sliding and sliding. All shiny stuff now. Needs to hit.
Yeah.
Just gone through the gap.
Well, Steve will be trying to put one a bit closer here for game.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think he'll be quite happy with that one. He's just probably try to beat it if he can, but he doesn't want to leave a massive target for Callum to strike at. And he hasn't done. Might have made one though. Yeah, 2 down.
Yeah. Yes, Callum would have fancied striking at that, so
well, he's got
to try and beat it now.
Correct, he's got to find one.
Or he might just fire straight at the jack. No, he's not.
Trying to lick it. Can't just tell you what. It looks a decent line. All on his pace now. All on his pace. Needs to run.
Let's give up.
Can't get there.
Right, Murray goes through. 21-10.
Yeah, good performance from Steve. Played well. Didn't give Callum much of a chance. Totally dominated from start to finish. And he's in the last 8 where he's weighing the winner of Richie Goddard and Liam Griffin. So we'll go to a quick commercial break.
Thanks, Andre.
To the Waterloo, the last game on the green from the last 16 now. It's Richie Goddard from Shropshire and Yorkshire's Liam Griffin. Currently it's 9 across. Andy's back here with me. Looks like it's going to be another close game, Andrew.
Yeah, it's going to be one of yet another close finishes, I think. Both been playing well from what I've seen. I've been keeping an eye on all 3 games that have been on, if that's possible. We've just missed the end of the Harris Prosser game. That tremendous finish. Harris lay up at all but 19 with 2, and Ryan ran the jack, counted 1, and at the next end Ryan's managed to get up. So hell of a game, really. I don't feel particularly well now after my financial investment has disappeared, but I'll carry on regardless.
Yeah, never mind, Andrew. You don't have much luck with the betting, do you?
I have very little luck.
Kiss of death. Okay, well, back to this game. Liam Griffin's played well. He played well his first game. Liam, didn't he? Beat the All England winner Ashley Dakin, Yorkshire teammate. And he settled down quite well here, but Richie's a tough cookie to crack, isn't he? That's
right. It was always a tough game, his first one with Ashley. Very difficult playing people you know well, and there was a lot of good sporting rivalry on the terrace in between the 2 sets of opposing fans, the Pudsey lads and the Huddersfield lads. And he just scrambled out 19, but to be fair, he never looked in any danger, really. Richie was always also involved in a fairly close first round game with Andrew Turner.
He's going off green here,
and he's they're both having a bit of a tussle now with each other. Although he's just Liam's got away with a
2 there,
a fairly cheap 2 really. It was a good lead, but second balls are quite poor, really.
The green's quite pacey. Andrew going across to the north stand, a lot of brown, and it looks like a cricket wicket down the middle.
Yeah, just there, that part of the green. I mean, it's always a quick finish anyway, but just that area and you know the middle 20-yard square of the crown, round the crown, is very, very quick. I think that's why you're not seeing a lot of corner bowling. It's just hard to judge the pace over the middle.
You know, just going to say that it's everything seems to be very similar to Waterloo final day. Nobody's really venturing in the corners too much. Probably the only person who's really had a bit of a go is Steve Morrey, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's played them tidy well. I mean, the problem is, you've got the quick bit over the crown, and also the edges right on the very edge, the last 2 yards, they're also very quick. So you've only got maybe the 10 yards between the crown and nearly into the corner that's sort of playable and runs true to form. So it's just very difficult to go anything over 35 yards.
Well, just for the viewers, if this is say the last game of the last 16, we'll just run through the quarter-final draw as it stands at the moment. Wayne Ditchfield will be playing Simon Cope. That'll be one hell of a game from 2 North Langton file players. Then we have an all Midlands battle, Darren Plenderleith from the North Midlands and Ryan Prosser from Warwick and Worcester. The third game on, an all Warwick and Worcester battle, Greg Smith versus Carl Fielding. And the winner of this game will play Steve Morrey. So there's a lot of interest, particularly from Warwick and Worcester, isn't there? Yeah,
well, I think the bus loads that have turned up this morning, they were just hoping for all Warwick and Worcester final, and it's looking like they might be getting their way. The way that Ryan Prosser's improved from his first game to his second, if he keeps improving, Darren Plenderleith's going to have it all on if he's going to get past him. And Greg Smith, first game, very comfortable early lead. His opponent Brian Wellsby got a few back, but he played very well against Chris Brown as well. They're looking ominous, these Warwick and Worcester lads, and as somebody in the crowd said to me this morning, they'll dominate it for years and years to come.
Yeah, well, and there's a few more I've seen on the assembly line down in Birmingham still coming through. They've got some more real good up-and-coming young players.
Yeah, I think Gary touched on it in the interview he had at the start of the programme. There will be times when things don't go their way, when they're playing in front of crowds who might not want them to win and where they're not all shouting for them, and it's how they handle it then. It's okay, having the full support of a 1,000-strong crowd behind you. Sometimes they don't want you to win, and life's difficult then. And when balls start hitting wrong and things like that, it can just get to you. So they'll have patches where it goes wrong, and it's how they deal with it then that'll show just what good players they are.
Yeah, what they're made of, yeah. Yeah, that's right. And just speaking of Gary Ellis, Waterloo champion, first round exit, it seems a bit of an hoodoo, this event for Waterloo winners, isn't it, Andrew? I think there's twice in 40 years it's been 20 years since someone won the Waterloo and came back the week after and won this.
Yeah.
Can you put your finger on why?
I think it's I don't know really. You've got to remember, you're not just playing any sort of dummies on here. The people that have played the green before in general, they've won big competitions to get here. It's a tough competition, and just because you've won a comp here the week before it doesn't automatically follow you're going to keep that form up. I managed to get to the semis in '97 when I won the Waterloo. And I beat 3 very good players on the way. It's probably the best I've ever played on the green, but I came up against a man who played it better than I did. And I think you get that a lot. It's you're up against it. They're all good players and they all take some shifting.
Do you think it makes a difference comparing the two competitions? Waterloo, one game on the green, and here, let's see today, there's 4 or 5 ends on the green. Perhaps you can't always set a mark you want to in the early doors.
Absolutely right. It's the Waterloo, just until when you get to that last day, every game's a final, and then you come here and you turn up for your practice at 9:30 and there's 31 other jacks on the green with you. It's hard work just practicing, and then you start playing, there's 5 jacks on the green again, and that mark that you played the previous Wednesday, suddenly you can't get on it. There's all sorts of reasons why it's happened, and I think Stan Frith did it. I think Jim. Jim
I think
Connell?
there's only been 2. The last one was in '95. Was Ken Strutt, and the other one was Jimmy Cullen. I think
Jim Cullen did it in '75. Yeah.
The man with the golden arm. I think those were the only 2.
So very, very difficult to do, as you say. I'm sure there's bigger and better minds than mine thought about it before now.
2 more to Richie there. He's back in now. It was 9-14. 2 twos makes the difference. 13-14.
Well, they've both had little runs with it. Liam had a 5 break just to break away from the 9 apiece, and Rich has had 2 pairs back in response.
Yeah, just testing out the corners now. Richie gone a little bit further.
I'm going to have to rely on my monitor, I'm afraid, Mel. Not tense in the way again for me.
No, I'm all right. I can see the jack from my end.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're an MBE. You get this special treatment now.
Yeah, you can look at the monitor. I know you're short-sighted.
Yeah. Who said that?
Watch you play.
You'll have to stand a bit closer, Mel. It's a good lead. I can see that's a good lead. Not so bad at all, that.
Yeah, smack on the road.
These are 2 players who I like. I think Rich is a tremendous competitor, and so's Liam. I think you both get value for money with these 2.
He just nipped the line a little bit there. They just come inside Rich's land, and he showed at the death. Look how it just pegged away. Richie just coming around the crown, finger bias. His pace is like the land looks good again.
Yeah, looks
good ball.
Very good. Does this better than his first? That's the way to do it.
This is a better line. Well, look on it.
Yeah, it needs a hit though. Needs to hit that jack. It goes out. Oof.
What a turnaround. The 2s wins games, don't they, Andrew? He's had 3 on the bounce there, 9-14. Yeah. Now he's in front.
3 2s there. That's what win your games. Always remember getting told very early on in my career, make your 2s and save your 2s. That's what this game's about.
That's right. I mean, the great Brian Duncan, he always went for him, didn't he?
Rich is seen no reason to change. He's going nearly 50 yards, stump peg into the pub corner. A little bit of an uphill finish. Doesn't look so bad. I just need a hit. Tickle on the jack, maybe? No.
They're not putting no effort in these bowls, are they?
No, that's right. It's even running in the notoriously heavy pub corner.
Just watch Liam delivery there. Just seems just to stroke it out, and it's going 40-50 yards. It's a nice delivery. Well, he's the postman. He should have a nice delivery, I guess.
Oh, you should be on stage, Mel. Line's good. Has he took that yard of pace out? I think he has, you know. I think he has. Not so bad there.
Yeah, that's the worst lead Richie's had for 3 ends, and Liam really needed to punish it, didn't he?
That's right.
Not good enough.
No, just a yard short of having a really good ball.
For our viewers who like to know what bowls they're playing with, Richie's playing with some Thomas Taylor's 2 pound 12 ounce, and Liam with a much smaller 2 pound 8 ounce Apollo bowl. I often get asked, we should mention what sort of bowls they're playing with.
See, I'd have just said black ones.
Yeah.
That's why you're an MBE, Mel.
Is that right? Got my MBE in my pocket if you want to touch it.
No, you're okay, Mel. Let's keep what's in your pocket to yourself, shall we? I won't be touching anything there. Stay.
Back in there, so good correction of Liam there. Made it all square.
Yep. Still thinking about your MBE in your pocket, Mel. I'm sorry. I need to concentrate. Of course, it's not that long ago. Most people used to play with 2 pound 12 ounce bowls, and everyone's coming down in size. So Rich is one of those that's sticking with a bigger bowl.
Yeah, well, Callum swapped today, went down to 2 pound 8 ounce.
That's right. I was talking to him about that. Apparently, he's got a set of yellow ones on order with Drake's Pride, so they'll be interesting.
No, Richard not reaching, he's trying hard, just going to die. Liam's bowl has actually just stopped in a little bit of a drain. You can see the dark
that's
green there.
It looks a good 4 feet off, but where the jack stopped, which you know right on the edge of the green, there's nothing past it. It's not a bad lead really. If he just gets past Richie's now, it won't be so bad at all. Nice to lie there, you know.
Yeah, if you overreach, he's easily going to go off green.
He only needs only a yard. I mean, it's easy said, just put a yard in it. But he's travelling with this, you know. It goes off missing. Can't stop, not today, not tomorrow.
You can see that drain, you can see it in there on the monitor, little dark patch. A little bit slower in there, a little bit of greenery to stop the balls, and Richie went straight to the brown either side.
They'd have had to have stopped mowing it for a fortnight to keep that ball on.
Right. 17-15 in front, as you said, Andrew, having little runs.
Very nice, easy delivery, Liam. I'm not doing the postman gag again. He's like I keep saying, he's an excellent competitor, very focused, good county man. Plays for Pudsey Bowling Club. They call the top club. I think that's geographically rather than anything else, but they are one of the best teams of club sides in Yorkshire. Had many a tussle with them over the years with Thongsbridge. He played a decent lead, Jack again right on the edge of the green, nothing past it, left his ball a yard short, saying to Richie, right, you pass it, you play a good ball, and he's passed it, he needs to stop, needs a hit. Took the jack off.
Fortunate there.
Toucher in the ditch.
Edge to edge.
So the end gets replayed. Liam leads the jack again. They should start exactly 1 metre from the edge of the green where the jack went off. You can see there that the referees put it on about 2.5 metres. Not that we play too many rules, but
Quite impressed you know these rules, Andrew.
listen, I know the rules, I just choose not to play to them.
We've been asked a question on the Twitter as could be a day for young winner here today, which is possible, and who might be the youngest winner to win the championship. I'm not too sure about that, but I think 2 years ago I don't think John Finch was too old.
No, that's a good shout. I'm not sure. I think he's older than he looks, John, to be fair, but I'll cast my eye down here.
Yeah. And as you can see, the Twitter things on there if anybody wants to join us. We've got quite a few on the Twitter today. You can see it on the screen at Live Bowls.
Our resident stato, Steve Q-Man Davis, has put forward Paul Strutt in 1998. He might have been in his maybe 30, I don't know. Nigel Cranston, 1982.
Is it your
That's
bet?
the answer. That's the answer
bet?
because he qualified, winning the British Junior Merit.
There you have it. Stato Cairns.
Just dug it
Go
out.
with it.
I think that's right, anyway.
Oh, good ball from Liam. Good in. So I hope that's answered Tommy Boyd's question.
If anyone's got a BCGBA handbook,
They won't print ages in them.
no, but it'll tell you when he's won British Junior Merit.
He's gone off again. So another turnaround again, Andrew, in this game. 14-9 to Liam, 15-14 to Richie, 19-15 to Liam.
It just seems to be whoever sends the jack out gets a 2. It's incredible, really, the number of 2s they've hemorrhaged these last few ends. I mean, at one point it looked like Richie was going to be comfortable, and then Liam looked comfortable, and now, well, Liam will fancy his chances to get up this end the way they both played.
Well, Liam's put this down nice. It's running through a lot of brown. Might just finish a yard, 4 feet short. Urging it on, waving it in. Bit of wafting going on there.
Is that the Midlands version of wafting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been wafting?
A few times, actually. Stato Davis has been on the BCGBA website and he's told me I'm wrong. Nigel Cranston won the British Junior Mate in 1977, so he wasn't he would have been about 23 perhaps then when he won Champ of Champs. I think that's a good shout. I think I'm right. Anyway, back to the bowling.
Yeah, I'm sure Davis will sort it out before the end of the programme. He's probably going on Ancestry.com to try and find the ages of some of the tournaments.
Well, I've just glanced at his laptop. I can't tell you what he's looking at, to be honest.
No, Richie, you're running. No, this can't reach. Can't reach. Disappointed there, Richie, wouldn't he? Should have got past. Should have got another.
Very poor second ball, really. Like I said, you've got to make your twos at this game. They win and lose you the games, but
not 16-19. No, good crowd on today, Andrew.
Yeah, not bad at all. I think there's been 2 coaches up from the Midlands. There's a load of folk from all over the country stopping over. It really is the highlight of the bowl season. Well, the end of the bowl season, anyway. You've got the All England bang in the middle, and then everything then builds up to this. I think it's turning into a tremendous weekend. And of course, we've got the ladies tomorrow. Who couldn't forget about the ladies?
Yeah, I know you're looking forward to that tomorrow, Andrew.
Do you know, I've been excited about that all week. I've been studying the form guides. I've been looking at the draw, and I still haven't got a clue who half of them are.
No. You'll find out tomorrow. Yeah, Liam just left that. Now Richie needs to get 2 in here. So he's got room. Just go past that short bowl.
He needs to improve on his lead. He needs to just put that pressure back on Liam. The line's good. Just needs to stop. Well, live and let live. Liam would be confident about licking these the way he's been playing the last few ends.
I think he's too big.
He's certainly outside the line. Can't get back. Not any time today, anyway.
18-19.
Cheap armpit job there.
I've been informed, quite disappointing. The trumpeter can't make it, Andrew. That's a shame.
It is a big shame. I think he does add something to that Waterloo finals day. I'm not sure what it is, but he does add something.
Yeah.
I actually think it's quite nice, really. We need a bit more of that.
Yeah.
And if you'd have said I'd have brought my tenor on with me and I'd have done it.
Yeah, you're good at blowing your own trumpet.
No, it's a tenor horn, Mel. It's a little bit bigger than a trumpet. And Richie's gone into the corner on the. I think he's gone finger peg, has he? Has he gone finger peg at this?
Some, I think. He's coming across towards us.
He's getting a bit confused. He's maybe 4 feet off. Not so short, really. Maybe a couple of foot of running to get him a real good one. Not sure this can get there. Can't get there.
And viewers might have noticed the first quarter-finals on the green. You might have just spotted Wayne Ditchfield in the picture with Simon Coupe. Just started.
It's very hard not to spot, really, Mel, to be fair. Now, Richie's just got to be a bit careful. He can't. If he's anything over a length, he could easily knock Liam in. Needs a clear. Needs a clear. Oh, just grazed it. What a good ball that is now. What a great ball. Line 2. Needs these to get him in the 20 hole. Liam has to reach. He's not short. He's going to pass his own. What can it do? Can it bend? Good saver though. Good saver.
Yeah. So 19 across. Who wins?
Don't ask me. I'm absolutely clueless. I couldn't tip a bin today. There's only in the first round there was only 2 games that went against the odds, and I backed both of them. He's certainly seeing no reason to change. Going to go in right in him. Stick one a couple of foot off. Make Liam worry about it. Come out nice. It's on a decent road. This. Can it finish? Needs to run. Needs to run. Get on a bit. Ooh, just finished that 4 foot short. What can Liam do?
He's struggling to pass.
He's tighter line as well. Tighter line. Bends away now. Won't go in, I don't think. Topples.
Just have a tweet here from Novak Djokovic, who says he won the Yorkshire Marathon again. I believe my dad won it when he was 23.
There you go. That's Joe Cranston, Nigel's son. Oh,
So thanks for that, Novak.
Yeah. Thanks for confirming I was right.
Another tweet asking who's the oldest winner.
Have you won it, Mel?
No. I would say Noel Burrows, was it? Maybe.
What about Gary Ellis? He's going to leave 2 if he's not careful, you know. This goes out. This goes out. He's left a double.
Richie's having a look.
Is it?
No. Oh, 2019. Richie really needed a better bowl there. Talking about Gary Ellis being the oldest.
Alan Thompson, 2002. Jim Collum would have been knocking on a bit.
Noel Burrows was certainly the oldest runner-up last year. I will tell you that Gary Ellis won't be happy when I tell him you think he's the oldest winner.
He looks like the oldest winner. He's got lovely silver hair.
I thought I saw him on a boat in Italy this morning on the news, but it was George Clooney getting married.
Oh, dearie me. Oh, what a smooth guy you are. Bad lead from Richie there at all, but left far too much room. If you notice, he sent the jack probably 2 yards further, caught himself out, but he's not caught Liam. Now then, misses his own, he's a bit of a squeak. Misses his own, he's got a squeak. Ah, he's found a good one there.
Oh, a great ball from Richie, that.
Needed it. Of course, Liam's a shot for game now. Got a shot for game. Got to make sure he reaches. Couple of yard overplayed. Full connection. Makes a deuce.
He doesn't seem to like it, Liam. He stood on the mat. He's watching it.
Well, it's only just getting there. He's only just getting there. If it misses his own... Yeah.
Goddard.
Just gone out.
Well, that was a game of swings and roundabouts, Andrew, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a tremendous game, really, from a spectator's point of view. I think you'll be tearing your hair out if you've backed either of them. But an excellent game to watch. Too many twos for my liking. Shows you that the standard of play wasn't that high, really. But the finish was. Finish was excellent. Good win for Richie against a good player. And he'll be taking on Steve Morrey in the last 8. She's set to be a cracker too. They'll both fancy the chances now, going a distance.
Yep. Liam will be disappointed just with his finish, went to the last couple of ends. He had room.
Yeah, I just sprayed him a little bit at the finish and gave away a few cheap twos, but they both did. One of them games you just wanted to scramble out of, really.
Yeah, well, Richie could have been playing Callum at one point. But now he's going to be facing Callum's conqueror, Steve Morrey, when they return for the quarterfinals in a few minutes. I think now 3 quarterfinals are actually on the green, and we'll be going over to one of them shortly. Scores at the moment on the doors. And Darren Plenderleith just at one end at the moment against Ryan Pross is 1-0 up. The game between Wayne Ditchfield and Simon Coupe. Wayne leads 5-3. Greg Smith just stepped on the green with Carl Fielding. That'll just leave the last game when it's due on with Steve Morrey and Richie Goddard.
If anyone's interested out there, these were the odds at the start of the last 8. Simon Coupe was 4-1. Wayne Ditchfield 6s. Ryan Prosser 5-1. Darren the Shark Plenderleith was a massive 10-1. If anyone wants a value bet, that's the one. Greg Smith was 2s. Carl Fielding 7s. Steve Morrey was 5, and there wasn't a price on the on Rich Goddard just at the minute, but I would imagine he'd be about the same, about 5-1.
Yeah, we've just been asked what's the first prize today. Well, it's £1,000.
That's nearly as much as you're getting for this, Mel.
I wish I was. Right, well, in one moment now we're going back to the action. We're going to be picking up the game between all Warwick Worcester battle between Greg Smith and Carl Fielding. They've just stepped onto the green. At the moment it's Greg who's just taken an early 2-0 lead.
Yeah, this has been his game plan. First 2 rounds, playing a 25-27 yard mark, just on his peg, just finger and thumb back up under the crown. And he's been up until this end. He's been standing them all over the jack. He's been playing hide the jack, and give Carl a bit of room here. Carl's not took the chance to get the 2. He'll happily take the 1, and in total contrast, Carl's been playing the full corners and playing them very close.
Well, that's where he's going to be heading. I mean, I know these 2 guys pretty well. They know each other's game inside out. Ryan Prosser sending the jack into the corner where Carl's hoping to go. But it is going to be a short game from Greg, and the corners from Carl. He comes off a big green in Birmingham, Kings Heath Park. Good reacher is Carl. We've seen him early today. Didn't we, Andrew? He played the corners really well to beat Gary Ellis, and that's where he's going to be heading for.
I mean, I haven't seen an awful lot of Greg. I watched him in the All England last year. Played him in one game. Maybe seen him in a couple of county games. I don't know his ability in the corners. I've never seen him tested right in. So it'll be interesting for me to see how he fares with this. I'm sure it's part of his game. You know, if it is a weakness, I'm sure he works on and practices. But you sort of make that assumption because they play a short game that they can't play the corners. I mean, you know, that's just an assumption you come to, an assumption you make, and I don't know if that's true or false.
That's right. It's corner marks is certainly not plan A in Greg's game. I mean, we saw him last year at the All England, and he was playing not corners but a good sort of 3/4 length, wasn't he, Greg?
Yeah, the thing for me from the All England last year was how he dragged himself. He was on the floor in, I think, the third round game. I can't remember who his opponent was, but he looked absolutely out of sorts. He looked like Callum did earlier, just not ill at ease with himself, and he just all of a sudden got after one or two and dragged himself up, and there wasn't going to be another winner after that. It was a real good display of being able to control himself and turn himself around, and that was a standout for me. And he always impresses me whenever I see him. He's come up north and he's won comps. Won at Martin. I mean, he's giving the green to everybody at Martin and won it at a canter by all accounts.
Now we've got the betting on the screen there at the moment. The Wayne Ditchfield is 4-1, is it? Simon, can't read that very well.
That's a 6 mil.
Yeah,
It's
6.
been crossed out.
Yeah. Ryan Prosser's down there. Plenderleith, the 12-1 Plend. No, it's crossed out, isn't it? That?
That's an 8 mil.
8, that's right. Yeah. Prosser 5, Fielding 7, Greg Smith 2-1.
Yeah. Still no price on for Richie Goddard.
No, Steve Morrey. Oh, another bet in there. Steve Morris now up at 5-1. Is Richie Goddard still in the competition?
I'm not sure. I think they've scratched him. Might have failed the after-match drug test or something.
I'll just go on the green now. Richie and Steve Morris, all 4 games are on the green. Back to Greg there. Good 2-4-1. So it's a Tem call. Had to get Greg into the corners, and he's conceded 2 shots.
He didn't get right in the corner. I mean, if you look at where they stood, there's probably another 10 yards to go, really. I think he's got to go as far as he can every time he gets the jack.
I think what we touched on earlier, Andrew, as well, that Carl wanted to get in the corner, and then another game was theirs, and you can't always get where you want to go, and it resulted in him probably shortening it to decide several yards.
That's right. It's one of the problems you have when there's 4 games on the green. You don't have it for the last day of the Waterloo. You get the run of the green.
Look at a couple of the scores. It's Prosser 4, Plenderleith 3 at the moment. Ditchfield 7, Coupe 5. The other game's just commencing. Morrey and Goddard. Poor leader Greg's there.
He's actually going a little bit further than he has been doing. He's going a little bit shorter, probably where his ball is in relation to the jack. That was the length he was playing. Just pushed it a touch, but it's very quick there. He's rectified it, played a better second. I would imagine Carl will be wanting to play through at this ball rather than just beat it. What do I know? Very quick there, very hard just to play a length. He's on just outside the line. Won't look at it. Just done him with his hand there, as Greg really, with his left hand.
Short ball Greg just picked up. He went inside it and finished a good ball, and Carl just went on the outside.
Yeah, just doing him a little bit with his left hand and Carl's right hand, slightly different angles, approaching the jack, and just got to be a bit wary of that. Of course, the other thing that you notice when you watch Greg is all the stop-starting that he does, which is, I don't know if it's a nervous thing or what, but I know back in the day he probably wouldn't have got away with it, He'd have had the crowd on his back counting and chanting, and there's been a lot of good players over the years destroyed by a crowd. Greg's not had any of that, which is a good thing.
No, he's firing, Greg. But he might have just played a yard or so on. It's on the side, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that'll be the percentage shot. But these young lads, they're full of confidence. I think they can hit everything.
Ooh, he didn't hit that one. Somebody on the Twitter is saying for some of these TV events, why don't you use ex-players as referees? Would that something appealing to you now, Andrew?
To be honest with you, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think that's a very good shout, but certainly at the British Crown Green event, they want a fully qualified referee. I don't know what difference it makes. We all sort of know the rules, and at this level, there's very rarely any major things where referees have to get involved. All you want to do is know who's in, stop strikes, things like that. The sort of things that referees keep telling us that they're not on the green for. Well, if they're not on the green for that, we don't need them. Certainly at this level, they're needed lower down the game where people are unsure of the rules. I think it's a really good shout, and if two of the best referees were Frank Kitchen from St Helens and Terry Ashcroft from Warrington. They both used to referee the televised events. They were fully qualified referees as well, but they were ex-players and they knew what you wanted. Mike Holding would make an excellent referee for finals and things like that. He knows what the players want. He's not in their way. So great shout, and I think you'll make a very good ref, Mel.
Another one who was a good ref, you wouldn't have seen so much of. One of the best referees I saw was the legendary Cliff Boardley from the North Midlands. He was a great referee, was Cliff.
I think today they've not been so bad. They've not got involved in an awful lot. They've let players get after balls and there's even been a little bit of stamping that's sort of been let go, and they haven't got in the way. I mean, there's normally a few more around than there is, but
there's two real bowls there of Carl's. Greg will be firing again here.
Taking a bit of a run up.
Won't send it to his composed, Greg. He's watching this one.
Just to back.
The top again. Two more to call. Two real bowls there. Good comments coming through about the stream. I hope everybody's enjoying it. Courtesy of Globe Gig again, obviously. Doing a great job.
Yeah, they're getting quite good at this now, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, he's saying the stream's running lovely on his iPhone 2.
Oh.
Yeah, once he'd installed a photo flash app. So watch this Crown Green bowls on anything.
I managed to get it streamed through my 50-inch HD TV last Wednesday for the Waterloo Finals Day. My lovely girlfriend Karen was watching it and fully enthralled.
Yeah, there's a few say they got it on the TVs, and one or two are having meetings in the clubs and got projecting in the club. It's a good thing to get a few people in if you can't make it to the venue.
Absolutely, yeah, great idea. It's obviously not as good as being here, but it's a decent second best. Carl sent the jack off.
Yeah, all square, 5 across.
Criminal, really. I know he's wanted to get deep in him, but Carl's walking this up. It's looking like it's just going to be short. Going to be that couple of feet of running, maybe a yard. Not just good enough. Oh, God.
No, this ain't going to break the jack in two.
No, it's certainly not.
Just scramble in. Still probably a good yard off that.
I think it's obviously got quicker than from this morning's games. And it was fairly quick this morning. It was running nice this morning.
Good correction.
So it's probably a couple of yards quicker now.
Is Greg going to fire again, or is he going to play the percentage shot there? Just play a yard on, try and
rambling.
The ball there for 2. Watching it all the way.
Missed it.
Just missed it. 3 misses. 3 ends on the trough for Greg. Unlike him.
I'm told these lads don't miss.
Missed 3 there.
Missing 3 on the bounce. Just a momentary lapse, I'm sure.
Wayne Ditchfield now edgy there, 10-7 against Simon Cope.
I actually texted Simon early in the week, and I said, I think you're going to win it on Saturday. He says, no, I've got a poorly knee and I'm changing my bowls.
Oh. Well, he's not doing so bad with him. He did say he swapped today to Thomas Dow's bowls from his normal strike pride. Other game on the green, Plenderleith and Prosser 6 across.
Carl's headed back towards the corner. I think it's where he's put the jack. It's quite quick. You can see some. Well, you may not be able to see on the monitor. There are some brown bits just round the jack where they're easy to skate through. Greg's played a good one there. Carl was just a yard short. Needs to tighten it up a ball as well. He doesn't want to stick it out there. Won't look at it from out there. Can't peg all that. Not today. Length was good, but never on the road. Always outside it.
A bit of a cat and mouse game, this, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it's a fascinating game, really. I mean, you've got two totally different characters, really. You've Greg. Looks very intense after every ball. Carl looks a little bit more laid back, a little more sanguine.
Just had a kick. I mean, we saw Carl trying to get in the corners, just send the jack off. Tom Hansen was just tweeted to say perhaps they should follow panel rules and introduce 2 throws. I don't know. Can't ever see that getting in, Andrew. But what would you think of that?
I'm a big fan of it. I think it'd enhance corner play. You see a lot of players now, they go in the corners. They're not playing the corners. They're playing 3 quarters because they're scared of sending the jack off. Yeah, I think that's an excellent shout. 2 throws of the jack all day long for me.
Greg, he's struggled for a length leading at the moment. I still like him.
Well, like I said, I think he's just sending the jack further than he's wanting to, and I think it's just he's throwing him off his normal game. He's normally sending the jack to where his ball currently is.
Yeah, Jimmy Parker's on. He says great coverage. And watching this in Aylesbury, en route to the NFL. Is that an old people's home or something? Is it?
No, I'm not sure. NFL. What could that stand for? NFL.
At Wembley, yeah.
Yeah.
Great follower of that. Jimmy says the young guns are coming to the fore, and we are seeing that at the moment. But there's still a few of the experienced campaigners in.
Is he any further, Greg? So he needs to trickle on that brown now. It's going now. Look at it go. Look at it go on that brown bit.
Did well for him.
Done very well. Done very well. It shows how tricky it is to play a length. Now Carl needs to take a little bit of running out, not a lot. Needs to stop quick. Still going.
Get that run on. All through the brown. Did well to get away with that one, Greg.
It's a long number of years since the Waterloos trickled like this.
Earlier today I had to do an interview for Dennis Mowers, making some promotional video, and it's obviously their machine that's been used here this time, and since done a good job, good piece of kit. Greg urging it on, waving it. He's getting a bit frustrated with himself, young Greg.
Do you have a Dennis mower to do the lawns at your mansion in Cannock?
No, I've got a goat.
Yeah. Is it a ride-on goat?
Yeah, it is, yeah. I'll saddle it up.
Greg's just looking for any sort of improvements on his first, any sort of running, anything in his first. It's a good one. Trickles now, all the way. That's not so bad.
Good correction. I think Carl will be playing at that, the other boys, I reckon.
I suppose the balls change a peg here. Pick the jack up for 2.
Doesn't have to play too aggressive.
No, that's right. Only needs to move the jack a few 6 or 7 inch.
And Greg is only line 1 as well. And now nothing to lose.
Getting dive bombed by seagulls again. I think that's a female. You didn't know I was an ornithologist, did you?
No, I didn't.
Well, Carl, I think you're to back. I think you're going to get stuck in that drain now.
Gone out, yeah. How long you been into birds then?
Well, since I was about 16, really. I can sometimes be found at Martin Mere with my binoculars. Although I did get a warning off the police for that. So,
just a quick look around other games. Simon Coupe closed up on Wayne Ditchfield. Wayne Ditchfield 11, Simon Coupe 10. And Darren Plenderleith leads Ryan Prosser 9-6. Steve Morrey leads Richie Goddard 5-1. Looking at the scoreboards, there's 4 games on the green, there's still 5 scoreboards. Do you think they'd remove the not required one?
that was the bet for me in the last 8. Plenderleith, a massive price. It'd have been huge value. Good player, on a bit of form, winning a lot of comps. Back to the Smith game, he played a mark more akin to the length he's been playing all day, and Carl was very fortunate, really. He was going way out, and we nearly knocked him in. And he picked the jack up, and Greg wasn't able to improve. Cheap 2.
I mean, Greg's just a little bit like his delivery at time. He's just stuttering a little bit in this game, isn't he, Andrew?
Yeah, it doesn't look anywhere near as confident as he's done in his last couple of rounds. He's not fluid. It's just not happening. It's almost like he needs to click into gear. He's sort of just needing to go up another gear and get to that sort of level of play that we know he can.
I think we commented last year in the All England. I think you've said it, Andrew, that in one particular game he was sort of labouring through his game. He needed up a game. All of a sudden he seemed to spark into life, and he was running his bowls up. He needed like to kick up the backside to himself, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's obviously a confidence player, and that's what he's probably just lacking a bit, because the balls aren't going as close as they were in the last couple of rounds, and that's just knocking him a touch. And he needs to get over that. I don't know how he does it. If I knew that, I wouldn't be stood here. I'd be a sports psychologist. But I think he will. I think he's that sort of player. He'll just get himself out of it.
There's a lot of support here for the Warwick and Worcester lads. 3 of them in the last 8. Getting quite a lot of messages back in Birmingham. Everyone's glued to the TVs, laptops, iPads, whatever it is. Quite a few messages for the Warwick and Worcester lads.
Very cosmopolitan lockdown there, Mel.
Yeah, although I'm saying at the moment, Darren Plenderleith just glancing across, he's playing really, really well against Ryan Prosser. He's leading 11-6. He's playing Gary Ellis's edge along the north stand. Seems to be playing very, very well.
And the only iPads we have in Rosendale are on the optician puts over your eye when you've got a lazy one. And Carl, to be fair, is not letting Greg just settle in his rhythm, and he's played 2 good balls here.
He's firing again. He liked it this time. Took them both out.
That's the Greg Smith we know.
That's it.
A bit unfortunate not to make 2. He hit it absolutely perfectly. Split both of Carl's away. And his strike ball just went off. Only just, though.
And Greg's the sort of player now. They have to just G him up. When he has a big hit like that, a good shot, sparks him into life.
Yeah. Of course, that's another thing. The 2 Warwick and Worcester lads playing each other. The crowd's a little bit subdued as well. They're not as noisy as they've been for the last few games. They obviously don't want to upset either of the players, and they're just letting them play. It's actually gone a little quiet, and I thought it'd be a bit noisier than this right now, but maybe when the games start bubbling up, who knows?
Well, just glancing across at the Plenderleith and Prosser game, and Plenderleith planting them all around. There's like Ryan's struck now 3 ends consecutive. Plenders is 12-6 up, playing very well. One guy who is playing well, keeping it very simple, is the beast, Wayne Ditchfield. He's just playing into the middle of the green, done it all day into little short marks.
The beast is on fire.
Yeah, he's 13-10 on Simon Coupe.
I think the standard of play today has been very good.
Good lead from Greg.
There's
just saying he's just a good shot. You always find Greg. He seems to G him up.
Yeah. I can only think of 2 games where the play's been not of the highest standard, and these have been really good for the condition of the green, the pace of the green. They're putting them very, very close. Greg stroked that one out. You can tell the way he runs. He was a good footballer in his youth.
Yeah, left back he were.
Yeah. I used to be a left back, Mel.
Yeah. You going to say it, or shall I say it?
You say it, Mel. Go on. Oh, what a hit! Good attack from Carl. Paid off. That'll have took the wind out of Greg's sails a little bit. Can't let that affect him.
No, it was, again, he's just had a good strike, G'd him up, 2 good balls, and seen him beaten. Someone from Pudsey Bowling Club just saying there's a room on the calendar for like a Riders Cup style thing with North and South. Well, it's been bandied about now for a year or 2, but you know, fixing a date, I guess, and getting all the players together is difficult in an already crowded calendar. But it has been spoken about, I know.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, it shouldn't be too hard to do, but I think you'd need a full weekend. You'd need a venue with a couple of greens, probably, and obviously you need the players to be available. It's, if you remember, the international fixture went by the wayside a few years ago, and that used to be enjoyable.
Yeah. Okay. Ryan Prosser's just struck again for the 4th consecutive end.
Has he hit one yet?
Not hit one. No, 13-6 to Plenderleith. You know, Ryan just seems a little bit frustrated with himself.
I think Plenders is one of those players that people underestimate. I think he's a cracking player.
Oh yeah.
Still only a young lad as well. Been around for a long time. Carl made a poor lead into that corner. He's good 2 yards short. Greg beat it, but not with a good one. Carl's put a lot more in this. He's too far missing. It's his own.
Oh,
what a terrible end.
After such a good end.
Yeah. After I said there's such a high standard of play, suddenly they've dropped him from helicopters. Curse of the commentator. Oh, Greg, he should roll one in here. Just needs to travel a little bit. Can't fail. Not a bad ball. Smith won. Carl just disappeared for a quick drink.
Greg back into the middle of the green as expected. Ryan Prosser is striking for the 5th consecutive end, and he's hit one. Got one out of it.
I think Greg's played one here, you know, it's not going to be a lot short.
Good ball.
Where that jack is, very hard just to road them. Especially with left hand. Not so far off the road, is it anywhere near a length though? Got a peg. Oh, good ball.
Just fell in.
Just fell in. And Greg's just weighing up what to do. I think he's wanting to strike. And he is. He's asked the referee to stop it. And Blazer's flapping in the breeze as he jogs behind the end. Winding up is Greg. Here we go. Likes it. Bang. Got it out full. What a good hit. Right then, can Carl put it back? Should be full of confidence. He's playing well. Knows the road. Knows the length. It's easy, really. It's easy, really. Simple game, this. There you go. Have another strike, he says. Of course, it means he's got to go back into a corner from where he is, and it's only a short length. Good bit of tactical play from Greg. Mm. 11 across. It's a thriller in Manila. Just weighing up where to go. He's going to go back into the pub corner. See if he can make a lead this time. On the right hand there's finger peg. Can't be so bad. Length looks good. Line looks good. Might just tickle that jack. Just finished at the side, 6 inches or so.
It's still a good lead.
Yeah, Greg's turned over. Greg's come on it on his finger peg, the left-hander's finger peg. Just tight of it. Finished in a good spot though. Carlisle ideally would have one maybe a foot behind the jack. He's probably just trying to get another, and he has done. He has done. Has it finished in the road?
Is Greg going to fire again?
I think it's just underneath it. There is a shot on for 2. He's played it. Played a runner. Looks tight.
He's waving it over. Is Greg?
Oh, he's hit it. Can it stop? Can it stop? No.
No, done the jack.
Nullified the end. Carl gets to set the mark again. Has the first ball to it. And then Carl.
Looking to go in the corners again, but once again there's an end Wayne Ditchfield's game smack in the middle of the green. Might be able to get round it.
He's almost sent his jack through the end. Good job they just finished.
Just update on this couple of the scores at the moment. It's Wayne Ditchfield 18, Simon Coupe 14. Darren Plenderleith 13, Ryan Prosser 8. And Morrey and Goddard 6 across.
We could do with these split screen jobs, you know, like they have for the Champions League. Every channel showing a different game.
Yeah.
Need to look into that. Trouble is we need more commentators, Mark.
Yeah.
There's only one of us.
Yeah. Well, the director just fainted when you mentioned that.
I asked him about them action replays again. I can't tell you what he said to me. What an end. What a... Oh, he's done it. Done it full.
Well, the ball's gone off.
His ball's gone off.
So Greg's line 1 and he's got probably 5 yards to get what should be a simple 2. Unfortunate there for Carlo.
Yeah, he's been a bit unlucky really. He made a good lead. And Greg played an even better reply, and now he's got a simple chance to make 2. And he has. And he has. There's a few sites around this green, Mel, just looking, and I'm not sure it's all alcohol induced either.
There's a few in sort of fancy dress of some description today.
I think I saw a couple of members of the Village People earlier. There was
Yeah, we saw that.
A policeman with somebody or other. And there's a bloke here dressed as a dinner lady.
Mhm.
And then there's just random looking people, which putting a great crowd, great atmosphere out there. I'm sure they'll get a little bit noisier as the day goes on, when all the favourites get down to the nitty gritty of it all. It's nearly like the good old days, actually.
It is, yeah. I think there's be a bit of noise when we come to the semi-finals, particularly for any of the Midland lads.
There's a good reply from Carl there. Gone to the middle of the green again. Greg played a 2-foot lead. Carl's beat it. Greg's striking again. Going for gold. Revving himself up. Just waiting. Off it goes.
Took it out clean. And can Carl put it back again?
I remember you hitting a strike once, Mel.
Yeah. 1978 it was, wasn't it?
July 1978. Well, it's on a road. Needs to stop. Can't. Just overplayed. Good strike from Greg. That could be the difference, you know.
It's edging in front, 14-11. Wayne Ditchfield 19-14 against Simon. Looks very calm today, doesn't he, the beast Wayne?
Yeah, he's
relaxed.
Very noticeable his Wayne. I've spent a bit of time practicing indoors with him for the Super Bowl event that's coming up, and he seems a different player. I don't know. He's just calmed down. He doesn't get flustered anymore. He's actually walking a bit quicker than normal today as well. Playing very steady. Arguably the steadiest player of the day.
Carl, need a pick up. It's just gone out, I think, Andrew. Not sure.
Thinks it's Stefando's Greg. With his hand gesture, it's definitely reach. It's at least 6 inch Stefan. Just tight. Got away with a little bit of a bump. It might have needed it. Well, needs a hit now. Needs to hit something. Don't think it can stop. It flops. Just gone out. Smith won. 15-11. Just making that decisive break. Getting away from Carl. So, no reason to change his game. Up to the middle of the crown.
Yeah, nice little break that.
A good player once told me that's not a bad tactic. Just reduce the game into 5 games of 4 up. And just concentrate for that 4 and then regroup, and it's not a bad idea.
Greg's urging it on. Frustrated for that one.
He keeps playing these short leads. I think he's just playing the jack a little bit too far.
It's unlike when we were here yesterday, there was a lot of cloud cover today. It's perhaps not quite as quick as it was.
I've actually heard 1 or 2 of the players complaining about the pairs competition that was held here yesterday. Maybe gave those involved an unfair advantage.
Well, it's handy to have a few games on the green the day before. For those fortunate to be able to get day off work.
Yeah. You was in it, wasn't you, Mel?
I was in it for about half an hour.
Yeah. Some of us were working, paying taxes, that sort of thing.
Well, they'll spread around a bit. Carl's signalled one. He thinks he's scramble on, but
yeah,
poor end all round there.
was. Of course, winner of the pairs yesterday, Tommy King and Ben Harris.
Yeah, they played really well. Finished at 7:30 in almost darkness. Some good playing there was yesterday. Ben Harris was really impressive, particularly with his striking.
It certainly explains why he was looking so tired today after carrying Tommy King for 5 games of bowls. Only joking, Tommy. He's heading for the mark where he played Gary Ellis. He played very well. Finger peg into this corner. If he gets in here, he'll be going thumb peg down towards the northeast corner.
Well, he's not a million miles away with
this. This is a good lead. This is a good one. Yeah, that's just where you want them. 21 of them, that's what you want. All Greg can do is try and lick it. Get one close, and then it gives him an option with his next. He doesn't want to leave it short in front. He's given this a hell of a chance. Just gone out, but what a good place that is.
Another game. We've got a game on at the moment. Simon Cope's come right back into this quarter final. He's now 17-19 against Wayne Ditchfield.
Carl's got to be very careful here. Cannot afford to move anything. Can't afford to touch his ball. That'll move the jack. Give it to Greg. Got to be very, very careful. You can see from that picture, it's fraught with danger. Ideal ball a bit to sit Greg's, but it's
a dangerous shot.
It's a very dangerous shot. Very dangerous indeed.
The thing is, Carl wants to count this. He wants to get into these 2 corners, as you said. This is the mark that he's played really well. He's only managed to get into the corner length once and failed to count. Greg got in.
Well, he stuck it bang on the road. Maybe just a ball underneath. It needs to peg up now. Not in the way. It's a bit of a nothing ball, really, but I bet he was undecided as what to play.
Yeah, but Greg can't overplay if he takes his
no,
own.
that's right. He's only got. Well, he's just got to reach it, but he's tight. Tight. All that worry and thought, and that happens.
Yeah, now Carl. This is where he wanted to be.
Watch yourself. That'll be feet, Richie. Let's try again. Thumb peg. Won't peg a lot. Runs fairly straight. Don't want to get underneath it. We're right behind this. We can see the line. It's just over the course of that 40 odd yards, it's only pegged about a foot, if that. And he's just inside the line, just inside. Needs to run straight now for a good one. Well, I don't think it'll be last. Not a bad lead. Of course, Greg's coming at it from a slightly different angle with a left hand. He's wanting it to sink a bit. He's inside Carl's ball. Needs a length now.
Oh, clip off it.
He was a better road, I think. Oh, I can't just tell. Can't see on the monitor either.
Another game at the moment is Richie Goddard 12, Steve Morrey 11.
He's put this a little bit lower. He's just outside the line. He's following it on, but I don't think he's going to peg all that. It might come a little bit, but it won't come all that way. He's trying his hardest. Look at it, peg.
And did well that bowl.
Snatched it back as Greg. Sent it now. Better road than his first. This is bang on the road. If he's a length, he's a front toucher. If he's a length, he's a front toucher. If he's anything over, he runs the jack for 2. Oh, just too far. Just hang out. Has it stopped?
2.
No.
Fielding 2. Now we've got a game on. All square now, 15 across.
This was where he wanted to be. Paid off.
Wayne Ditchfield 20, Simon Cope 17, Darren Plenderleith 17, Ryan Prosser 12.
Carl's come back finger peg into the shop corner. Southwest, I think it is. Just under the line, needs to peg an inch. It's working, needs to stop now for a good one. Well, live and let live sort of a ball. Greg would normally be licking that. This is low. He's dragged this underneath. Can it work? It's trying its best, you know. It's getting back to it. Good ball, good reply. Just needs to lose a foot of running. Carl's playing the tighter line. Needs a length now. Needs a length of a hit. Needs a length of a hit. Needs the hit. Bang! Got it out. Good ball. Now then, Greg, what can you do with this? What can you do with this? Have you got a length? Can you have a hit?
Got the gap.
Oh. Well, just takes the lead. Can't remember him being in front before.
We've got somewhere on the screen from, looks like from Guantanamo Bay, I think. It's just escaped. It's actually a former junior Waterloo champion there. Do you know who that is, Andrew? Name that man.
I'm lost for words, Mel.
Have a think about it then.
A former junior Waterloo champion.
Yeah.
Oh, ask me one on geography.
Plus he was also on Manchester United's books of the youngster, I understand. Don't quote me for sure, but
I think you know too much about that particular junior, Mel. A bit worrying.
The other day he won it and filmed it. He played brilliant.
Was I involved? I hope I wasn't. I think I only commentated on when Jonathan Copeland won it, I think.
No, I don't think you were here that day. Now, first result of the quarter-final. Darryl Plenderleith 21, Ryan Prosser 12. Very impressive what I saw of that game.
A little bit of a surprise according to the bookies, but not to me. Ryan has always been struggling all day and did well to get past Ben Harris, really. Darren was always the dark horse in this 8.
Wayne Ditchfield's lead has been chipped away now. It's 2018 he leads Simon Cope.
Oh, Carl, I think you've put it a little bit outside the line again. It needs to peg a lot. You've managed to get Greg outside the line with his first. I don't think you'll make him do it again. A lot better ball, that. Greg's tightened it up. Anywhere near a length, this wins it. Anywhere near a length. He's never been off the road. It needs a hit now because I think he's too far. There you go. Needed it. Would have gone out. Now then, where's Greg going to go? 16 apiece. 5 up sprint. I can't see any reason for him to change his game plan and play to the middle of the green again.
the first semi-finalist just joined us up here, Darren Plenderleith. Well played, very impressive along the north stand edge, Darren.
Cheers, Mel. I just played that edge quite well today, and then I tried the other edge.
Gary Ellis been coaching you?
Yeah. Somebody said that you can't get wide across that edge, so I was just trying to nip inside Jackland, and luckily for me, I did well. So
we've just said you've been playing, very consistently all day. Good performance, good close game to get over John Bailey, former Waterloo winner.
Yeah, very good. Again with him, I just tried a little mark across the middle and just got out after being about 17-15 down. So just scrambling through. Just hope it continues.
And semi-final, you're going to be playing the winner of the game still on, Wayne Ditchfield and Simon Cope. It's currently 2018 to Wayne with a measure. How's your form against these guys? 1 to Cope, 19-20.
Well, against Simon, it's about level. I think Wayne's just in front, but I just hope I can continue the way I'm playing. So let's see what happens. Yeah,
well, wish you all the best. Thanks for joining us. Go and get yourself a 5-minute rest, mate.
Cheers, man. Okay. Thank you.
Back to the game in question. It's all square, 16 across.
The Rambler needs a hit. Going to get one of them. Bit of a hit and a hope shot that. Any touch on the jack would have been good, but he's got one out. It's better than nothing. Half a loaf and all that.
The other quarter final on the green at the moment is Steve Morrey 12, Richie Goddard 13. Have they been off for a few toilet breaks or something, them two?
I'm not sure. They're obviously getting value for money. Well, he's gone after that one. He'll want it to stop in a minute. He'll want it to stop now. Go a yard. Maybe not just that far, but it's gone past. What can Carl do? Road looks good. Needs a length. Needs to peg. Hook. Just done it.
It's done well at the death, that Andrew. Not sure if it stopped in.
Right, pulled up to nothing. It looked like it was going to trail out, but stopped dead.
I think there's been a bit of a shock result there. Simon Cope has come back from nowhere to beat Wayne Ditchfield, I think 21-20.
No,
not sure.
No, he's chucked the mat in.
Wayne threw the mat in.
Got the score wrong.
Got the score wrong. He threw the mat in. Gone back to retrieve it.
It's 20 apiece.
It's 20 across. Oh, Wayne, what was you doing there? The mat was returned to the start and he had to go and fetch it. I think he thought it was already 20 apiece. Now it's 20 apiece. Oh, bit of a laugh there between Simon and Wayne.
Another 2 to Greg in the game we're featuring. Carl's ball hadn't won it. We're a long way from the action up here. Not easy just to see.
19-16, so Greg on a finish. Now this last end here, Simon Cope and Wayne, and I don't know if my memory serves me right, but I remember him playing 20 across against Jimmy Darby in this very same mark in the Waterloo 2 or 3 years ago.
Better memory than me, Mel.
No, he did, because I remember there was a bit of a problem when he sent one of his bowls. Somebody's mobile phone accidentally went off just in this position.
I can't remember what I had for me tea yesterday. Oh, good ball, Carl.
Carlos. Good one. He'll not lie down, will Carl. Tough cookie.
No. Apparently he was having a lie down in the pub last night about 8:30. Now
Greg.
What a good response. No.
He's stopped in, gone a long way.
Just stuck in, I think. Yeah, just stuck in. That little rub on the jack did it a world of good. Now then, Carl, have you took a little bit of pace off it? Need to stop. Can't stop. Another one to Smith.
Simon Coupe, incidentally, does lie up at 20 across at the moment. Wayne's just sent his last bowl, and Wayne doesn't like it. Shaking his head.
How can you tell?
Not sure.
Short. Wow.
He's left it. Coupe has won. 21-20. He's come from nowhere, Simon, there, didn't he, Andrew?
He did. He got out of jail free, and maybe that's what it needs to win this thing. Wayne never looked like losing all game, but he has, and well, my tip on Wednesday, as I text him, maybe it might come true. Good win, 21-20. Greg's made a good lead, no more than a foot behind the jack. Really good. Carl's not been able to beat it. Well, Greg will just be looking to get another. Not give him a free shot. It might finish in the road. He won't get another, but it might just be in the eye line. Carl's got to reach it. This got to upset this end. Got to change it. It's going to strike.
Needs it.
Needs a hit. Any connection.
Watching it.
Oh, just missed.
So,
hard lines.
Well, good game that. He did well, Greg. He struggled early on, didn't he?
He did. He was a little bit out of sorts with himself, but like we said, he had a couple of good hits that got him going, and came back well, really. Carl was playing well. Greg put him under a load of pressure and played some good quality second balls, really. Good game, and well, I think he'll just need to up his game a little bit, but I think he's capable of it.
Well, they're just still having a look around the crowd. I think they're still waiting for the players to come on. Just having a little break. So we'll just pan round the crowd until we've got some more action at the moment. And there are, Andrew, what do you think of there? You can read the betting out.
Well, Simon Coupe, 5-4. Joint favourite with Greg Smith. And then you've got Davin Plenderleith at 6s and Steve Morrey at 7s. Well, there's some tremendous value in Davin Plenderleith, I think, and even in Steve Morrey. I mean, well, I know the other two, well, the massive favourites, according
well,
to that.
There's Plenders himself. He's having a bet.
Yeah.
Is he backing himself at them odds?
Well,
knowing Plenders he will. I've known before. He backs himself full of confidence. He's obviously having a bet, and he'll be backing himself. He will, Darren.
Yeah, I don't blame him. In fact, I might just disappear and go and have a bet myself.
You can see there, Greg Smith is that 1-4 favourite.
Well, I can't say now. We just got Plender's ugly mug. Yeah, 1-4 favourite. They're both 1-4 favourites on the heat. Darren and Steve Morrey are both 2-1 outsiders. That's just on the heat, so there's some terrific value there. I don't think either of them are 6 and 7-1 shots in this field.
Well, back to the action now. They're just tossed up the first semi-final. Simon Coupe is leading out in red against Darren Plenderleith in blue. I'm sure Simon is going to be aiming to go a fair distance in this game. He knows Darren plays the short mark, particularly that edge, very, very well. Yeah,
Plender's his entire game is generally 25 yards, putting them close over the middle of the green. But that's not his, the only part of his game he's good at. He's a good all-round player, and he's been around a long time now. But Simon will definitely be going for the corners. But my view is Plender's is not a 2-1 shot on the heat. I think this will be a lot closer than that. And if Plender's can get in and control the game a little bit, I could see him winning.
Well, a good start there from Simon. Runner-up in this event 2 years ago to John Finch. He was odds-on favourite that day and went out to John. He was a left-hander as well, like Plender's.
Yeah, I remember that day very well. I thought John was exceptional all day. A lad that many people outside of Liverpool hadn't heard of, but he came here and showed what a class act he was.
Well, Simon, I'm sure if he can make another. I'm sure Plenders is going to be asking whether it's 1 or 2. Referee Mike Potter indicates it 1. Plenders is going to be striking at this.
Yeah, he's a good striker. Very elegant player with his left-handed delivery. He doesn't know. Nobody can tell him.
No.
The ref's singling 1 down. Simon's saying he doesn't know.
Well, I don't think Simon's the best judge in the world, but Mike Potter is, we know him very well. He's a very good referee, Mike from Shropshire. Doesn't make many wrong decisions.
Well, I mean, he's done the right thing, Darren. If he's not sure what's happening, he needs to go and have a look, and that's what he's done. So
he's not come straight off. He's come up to 10 yards away, quick glance, turned round on his way back.
I think Plenders is actually a very good judge. I've played him a lot, and I've been around him a lot, and he's got a very good eye.
Yeah, he's firing. Simon Kemp admits not being the best judge, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything
I
wrong
didn't
in
like
that.
it at
After
all.
all that,
Yeah, outside.
he's took the second one out anyway.
I'll settle that. No measures required. The semi-final is just about to commence. Greg Smith already on the green in red, waiting for Steve Morrey to arrive. Steve Morrey got a good record on here at the moment, didn't he?
Yeah, he seems to be in the shake-up of every competition on here, so obviously likes the green. He's a player that, never really come across much until he did well in the Waterloo a few years ago, and all of a sudden you see him everywhere.
Some achievement for their family, isn't it? So, 1 win in the Potteries Merit, 1 win in the Cheshire Merit the same year.
Yeah, it's tremendous, really. I didn't realise they played for different counties till this year. I don't know what's happened there, but obviously one of their faces doesn't fit somewhere. That's not as bad a ball on the mark as it looks there. It's easy to get underneath, especially with Darren's left hand. He could drag it across. This has got an awful lot of pegging to do to get it near the road. He's trying. Doing it. I don't know if he'll do it all. Yeah, not a bad ball. Just a yard short. Simon will be confident about beating that though. And then there's no effort going into these balls. They're just coming out lovely from the hand. Running lovely and true. Wins it all week, this. Wins it all week.
Yes, good ball. Plender's just checking it's 1, which it is. Should or not be short. He set it off on a wider line than Simon's.
Yeah, it's a lot
Can't
wider.
get back. No, not going to get back though.
Just dragged it across with his left hand.
Yeah, Jimmy Parker's still watching this. He just commented one thing he doesn't miss about the Waterloo is having to get spectators behind the barrier, and it's something that always frustrated Jim, and I know the current manager Mark Orden feels the same. People just seem to ignore the fact and probably no respect for the green or the players at times.
It just seems a bit bizarre at the only stadium that we have around the bowling green. Nobody wants to stand on the terraces or sit in the seats. It's very strange, but there you go. That's bowlers for you.
One other thing I just want to mention that's coming up shortly is the highlight of the Craig Roberts Memorial, which was held in Wales for an excellent competition that was run by Daniel Jones in Colwyn Bay for his friend Craig, who sadly died early in the year, and they raised $2,000 there for Help the Heroes charity. Fantastic job, and the Blue Border team were there filming it. It's going to be out soon. And we look forward to watching that because Blue Border do a fantastic job. Some of the videos they've done for Pudsey, first class. So well done, lads.
Decent lead from Simon, full corners. Playing the right-hander's finger peg. Davin's reply, just slightly tight, but it might just have stuck in. From that angle it stayed in, yeah. Referee confirms it. What was his name? Brian Potter?
Mike Potter.
Oh, Mike Potter. Brian Potter from Phoenix Knights.
No, he's a very good referee, and he's done well because he was he's got an illness which he does well to cope with, Mike, and good luck to him.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, it might be needed again because Simon might as well be looking in the dark here. Oh, it must be an easy if he's selected that one. I'm sure if he does win this competition, I'll be getting a few texts during the week. And I'll be asking him about his dodgy knee. Obviously, it's held out so far.
Oh, Plenders is on a good road. It's all about pace. Looks too big.
Yeah, too big and too far. Yeah, it's a strength of Simon's game and a weakness in Davin's is this sort of distance. It's I think he's a weakness in a lot of players, to be honest, myself included. But it'll be different if and when Davin gets hold of the jack and has a run himself. Simon won't want to change it. Finger peg down into the northeast corner of the green where the toilets are situated. Not gone as deep as I thought he would. Good 5 or 6 yards out of the full corners, but still a fair distance they're playing here. Close to where Brian Duncan used to get all his chalks on this green.
I think Simon probably wants to set the mark longer than that. It's just the green as it's running, Andrew, isn't it? You don't want to lose the jack and give your opponent an advantage, particularly down there, because if Darren got in, he'd be right along the edge anyway.
Yeah, it's a good point. You can't attack it, and that's going back to that point that I think Tom Hanson made via Twitter. It's 2 throws of the jack, you can afford to get deep in the corners. You know you're not going to lose it, but you can't do it these days, unfortunately. And Darren overestimated just how far it was, and he's rammed one 5 yards too far.
Well, Simon's going to go through a little as well with this, I think. Yeah.
Well, Darren stroked that one out. Stroked it out. Looks a decent road, all on his pace now. All on his pace. Needs to drop his sand any time. Looks like it could have trickled out.
Gone a long way, that.
Looks like it's trickled out.
Yeah, one more. 4 singles for Simon. And we're looking at the scoreboard at the end. The blonde lady, interested spectator, Mandy Paget. She's marking Simon Coupe's card. Simon, winner of the Tony Paget Memorial at Cradley, which Mandy runs a fantastic tournament, and I'm sure she'll be willing Simon on. There's our Mandy.
Yeah, she's been put on Facebook all week. Good luck to the Tony Paget winner, Simon.
That's right. And next to her is the ladies' president.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll be speaking to tomorrow.
Oh yes.
Back to the action.
I can't wait. It's the highlight of my season. Letting a bit of water there as Simon is maybe 5 feet at the side. Plenders he has to beat those bowls. Got to really punish them now. He's 4 behind, and he has done. Good response that. Would have gone a long way missing, would have gone a yard at least. Now then, what can Simon do? Needs to tighten it up. Put a bit of pace in.
It up. It's all about pace now.
He's gonna.
All about pace.
Might go out, this missing. Will go out, no danger, gone. He just altered it. If you remember, they came finger pegging to this corner last time. And he's come thumb, so should be a cheap 2 for Plenders. Alright, doesn't disappoint our Plenders.
Yep, Jack in hand, first time in this final.
Quicker in 2s, Mol, you know.
Right,
Takes half the time.
Talking of 2s, Steve Morrey's just got a 2 there, so he's another semi-finalist. Morrey 3, Greg Smith 2.
And he wants to put the jack just where Darren's sending from, so that's not going to happen. On to the very quick part of the green, Darren. Now the way the jack's trickled that last 4 or 5 yards, you can see it's very quick, very brown. From our vantage point up here, it's going to go past the jack. It can't stop anytime soon. Look at it go. Going to finish a yard behind.
I do think the green's just speeded up and had the sun on it for the last hour. It's quite damp first thing, wasn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, it was. It was a little bit damp, but still running well, and now it's dried out nicely, and the balls are finishing, and the players aren't really used to it on here. Even
Simon.
Even players like Simon, who've played a million games on this green, have just launched one pass there. This is when this green really does get tricky. It looks such a flat nothing of a green when it's all lush green and you can reach everywhere.
Good correction there from Darren.
Yeah. Got 2 good balls now. He's given Simon something to think about.
I think he'll play at it.
Yeah,
yep.
Gone for it. Needs to peg. Oh, has he done it? Will it go? Yes. Gone off. So we're just going to hang on for a minute.
If you heard a big roar in the background, Steve Morrey going to 2 has knocked Greg Smith in.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that, really. Still. Nearly returned the favour. He has returned the favour. Wow.
Greg, what you've done there? Off screen, I know, but
sorry about that. Yes.
Good. Yeah. Well, what about that?
Very
Steve
bad.
knocks Greg in, and Greg's now knocked Steve in. It must be a friendly, this game.
This is the sort of mark Plenders is well known for. Right over the crown, nearly edge to edge. He's going, what, 35 yards here? Fair distance anyway. He played a decent ball, 15, 16 inch past the jack, bang on the road. Simon's got the problem of following a left-hander and picking the pace up, and he hasn't done. Just gone too far. He's after this, he's Plenders, he needs it to run, wafting it, stamping it, give it one. Gets another. We're never going to be a front toucher, but it's med 2. Now then, Simon.
I don't think Simon got that ball away very well. I'm not sure he's going to make the trip. Seemed to bobble out of his hand a little bit.
It's labouring. Simon's certainly not after it. Armpit job for Plenders.
Well, there, Simon scored 4 ones, Plender 2 2s. It's 2s that count games.
Yeah. All level. Going back to the quick part of the green. Wanting to lead one a foot short if he can. You don't want to be playing past the jack, you want him short, making your opponent pass it. That's the key. Doesn't want to get stuck in that little drain that's running across the green now. He might have done, you know. I think he's just stuck his ball in the drain. It's run straight. Perfect length.
Yeah, good length. Stuck it out slightly.
Might not be able to. Well, you can just see it on that picture. The dark line. That's a drain that got put in a few years ago. If you get your ball in there, sometimes it doesn't come out of it. Simon was just inside it, not as far as Darren. What can Plenders do with this? He's put it to back again for me. Won't look at it. It's too wide. He's got a hook.
Pacey, wasn't it?
He was always just outside the line. That was the thing. Simon's the same. He's further now. Needs a hit. Needs to prop that ball. Now then, Plenders got away with it. Let Simon have a look and takes the lead, 5-4. Good game, Mel.
Yeah, from 4-0. Playing straight across the middle through the brown part.
Could be some fun now.
Yeah, Greg Smith had put his jack in the way, but it's just trickled on.
Another tremendous confidence player is Darren. You need to get in front and stay in front with him, dominate him if you can.
He's got a good ball there.
Yeah, played a real good one. I think his supporters who backed him from the start, and I think he'll have a few that are lumped on at sixes in the semis, and they'll have backed him on the heat at 2-1. They'll be happy with them sort of leads, giving Simon all sorts to think about. Plenty of headaches. It's not only his knee that's playing up, it's his. This game's going to give him a headache.
If you hear a few cheers in the background, Greg Smith for the second end running has struck and smacked the jack. Jack's going to have an headache today.
Yeah. Played a good one there. Plender's foot behind the jack. Perfect position, really. Going to make Simon play up at this. Don't think there's any choice. Looking at it, watching it. Doesn't like. Oh, is it his own? Another armpit job for Plenders.
Nice little break. We've seen that a lot today, Andrew. In most of the games, you get Jack in hand. A lot of the games, they've had little runs with it.
That's right. So, it's all about leading this game, you know that, and all it takes is a couple of good balls and you're in the middle of a good break all of a sudden. That's what Plenders has done. Got hold of the jack, used his head a little bit, played to the quick parts of the green, and played tidy well. That's the thing. I think he's learnt from last time. He's kept well inside that little drain. Needs to trickle now. Trickle straight. Not so bad there, you know.
Run on well, aren't they, across there, Andrew?
Yeah.
Seem to go forever.
Maybe just finish. Simon, he could get in this drain, you know. No, he's found it. He's found it perfectly. Needs to stop.
I just noticed, if you're looking at the bowls there, Simon's got really more highly polished bowl, hasn't he, than Darren Plenderleith?
Yeah, I'm not sure just how much effect that has. It's something I'm not really thought about over the years, but yeah, it's less friction and all that. Probably don't have to send them as hard. Won't stop just as quick, maybe.
Simon. Dangerous, you can take too much out sometimes.
Indeed.
He's running well.
Look at that finish. You just don't see balls finishing like that on this green. Played a real good reply there. What a good ball that is.
Yeah, I tried hard to go out as well.
Could have easily played short, but that's a good ball to stop the little gallop that Plenders had going.
Yes, he needed that, Simon.
Yeah.
The danger Plender was going to get away from him.
Wouldn't have took much for for Darren. If it got up to double figures before Simon scored again, he'd have been really confident. Yeah, but won't be much more than a trickle out the fingertips even today. Not a good lead though. I don't think it's Simon's strong point. Having played him fairly recently and him demolishing me, his strength is the corners.
Straight in as well. Plenders. You surprised Simon set that mark?
Yeah, I am. I really thought he'd go for the corners. But, you know, we've been saying all day it's maybe not the sort of green to go a distance on. And give Darren a chance of an easy 2 back. Need to keep it tight. Stops any time soon for another.
Oh, it's gone. 1. Yeah, threw the mat down in disgust is Plenders.
Opportunity missed.
This is the second time Darren Plenderleith reached the Champion of Champions semi-final, Andrew. A 30-year-old plays his bowls in the North Midlands.
Yeah, I actually think he moved up to Sheffield for a time a few years ago, and I think that brought his game on leaps and bounds. It gave him more opportunities to play in the big comps up north, and he went from being, you know, a decent competitor to being a top class player, and he's won a lot. He's maybe not won as many of the bigger comps as he'd like to, but you know, his CV's got some big wins on there. He's won his county merit a few times and won some big comps. I've witnessed him win a few £1,000 comps, and he's certainly a good one, you know.
Yeah, Simon needed to punish that. It's probably the most room he's had from a lead of Darren's.
Well, he's put a bit more in this. It needs to stop. Not going to do. There's bags of room for Simon here. You'd expect to kick one in here.
Just a quick look at the game. It's Greg Smith 6, Steve Morrey 5. Simon, you've not got a better chance to count it.
Well, can't lose, can it?
Just a bigger bowl. He's playing with a pair of £2.11 Taylors compared to Darren with a £2.9 Drake's Pride.
Somebody's serenading as well.
Yeah, somebody's singing out there.
Not surprised. Now this is where I thought Simon would go last end when he got in. This sort of a mark, right in the corners. Just looking for a lead now. Gonna go past it. I played finger peg. Just going to go with a bias now. Runs away there. Not a good lead.
Yeah, a bit more peg. Jim Parker just tweeted. I was talking to Simon earlier, and he said he'd swapped from his Drakes to Thomas Taylor's today. He felt he'd want a little bit more bias and felt the Taylor's bowls do a little bit more.
I'm amazed Simon knows what bowls he's playing with and what they all do. There's that many of them, and he swaps them more often than I swap my underpants.
He swaps them about once a year then?
That's right, yeah. But he obviously knows what he's playing with today, and he's obviously comfortable with them. Not played 2 good ones here, but neither's Plenders. This is better than his first, but that's not saying an awful lot. Needs to run now. Needs to finish.
Surely must count.
Bit near us. Yeah, just gone in, just. It don't matter, it's as good as a touch on the scorecard. Gets him that little bit nearer home. Blenders has gone a fair distance back to the quick part of the green, wants to get back on his mark. Could easily catch Simon out here.
Well, this is a good ball. He just struck him. Pulled up to the yard, but
It's just yard,
it's
but
easy to have a play there, Andrew.
you could easily was 1, 2 or 3 yards too far there. I don't think Simon's entertaining that pegging. It was for the right hand. It was very difficult. Simon's coming the other way. A lot more control over the bias of the ball, and look at that, great response. Just that extra little bit of green knowledge.
I think that conditions probably just favouring Plenders today. He likes a quick green. He won the Osprey Tour last year, the Old Knoll, which is well known, plays the green. He likes this, he's after it.
He's after
it. Done it.
Oh, good
what a
ball.
great ball.
Well played ball, that.
Yeah, these players, they know when they played a good one, don't they?
They do. For some of them, it's every ball. Yeah, I'm afraid I was on the receiving end of Davin on the that day last year. I think it was the last 8. He gave me a bit of a lesson after being a mile in front. Well, he's played the right ball. He's reached up. Any connection? Just underneath. They're the sort of balls that win your games, you know.
They are, and he seems to be playing full of confidence. He seems confident on the green, anywhere on, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's struck a length. He's played well all day. It stuck out in the first round, just how well he played, and then he got home against John Bailey, a man who I actually fancied in the top half of the draw. No one talked about him, but he'd come to a bit of form. Plenders just got out. Here he is, controlling the game. 10-6, alright, it's not a million miles, but it's 4 chalks. This won't finish so bad. Just needs to finish. Just a couple of feet, really. Not as bad as it looks.
He turned his peg.
Yeah, changed over again. Knows the green better than most. Good reply. Played another good ball. Bang in front. No, just pegged to the side. So you could play a similar ball as he did last end. Just a yard overplayed.
Well, is he going to get after this one? Does he like it?
He's watching it. No, just must go.
Yeah, it's just over the top.
Should be a good chance of a 2 for Simon. He'd expect to let Plender's lead again. Yeah, can't fail now. 2 all week. Good balls, good, well played balls.
What's this Simon's put on his player's profile? His main hobby is going to the gym.
Going to the gym, yeah. I think he has to accompany his lovely wife Louise. They both seem to spend a lot of time there. I don't know if it's in the coffee shop or actually in the gym, but they go there a lot.
Not helping his dodgy knees.
No, not at all. Maybe he's trying to strengthen it, or maybe it's just in the jacuzzi. I think that's how you pronounce it. We don't have them where I come from.
It's called a brook where you come from, isn't it?
Yeah, and they give you a whisk if you want any bubbles in there, or a bowl of mushy peas. Simon's changed tactics. Shortened it. Played the sort of length Plenders wouldn't mind playing. Oh, he's running the back of him. Knocked him a good one now.
And the other semi-finalists, Greg Smith 7, Steve Morrey 7.
Simon's just got to be a little bit careful. Can't afford to knock into Davin's ball because he'd knock it in. Yeah, that's a good ball there. I think he's made another. Hard to tell from here. That may not have done looking at the monitor. Very hard to tell from up here.
Simon's having a look, but not sure that's any help.
No, might as well have sunglasses on.
He's got one eye on that glass. No, he won't make a decision. Mike Potter, Mike, good judge. Mike's pointed to Simon's bowl. He thinks it's 2.
No, he's gone to have a look. Done the right thing.
Doesn't make many mistakes, Mike. Keep praising him up. But just mention while we're waiting for this, the new British Crown Green Bowls Association shirt suppliers, Andrew. I think they do a good job. Everyone looks very smart. Me and you are wearing them as well. Fortis Sports Solutions, based in Newport in Shropshire.
Yeah, very nice shirts and very nice touch for the finals there. You can see who's who, and it's obvious to the crowd on television.
Oh, it's Deadly Derek. Yeah, Deadly Derek Alsell runs a lot of tournaments, doesn't he, up in Preston?
He does. Yeah. I'm not sure why he's deadly. I don't really want to know.
Plender's firing at it.
Oh.
Well, I think it's 2 for certain now.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate there, Darren.
Sort of hits I normally have. Just confirming it. Tosses the matting in disgust.
Yeah, that's Plender's.
Coupe 2.
Come back into it. 4-0 to Simon and 7-4 to Plender's. All square, 10 across.
It's a game of runs.
Just make a comment on the other semi-final. Greg Smith is now leading. He's 8-7, I think, and he's going a longer way. Greg, instead of little short marks, he seems to be playing for the 35-40 yards, sort of big round peg. Seems to have changed his plan altogether.
Yeah,
Greg
changed his game plan.
This is the sort of mark he played, if you remember, when he won the All England. Similar sort of length, pegging round the crown at Broomfield, Mitchell's Butler's grounds in Birmingham.
That's right. I think the odd end I've watched, Steve's been beating his good balls on the short mark, so he's had to change it. Really, there's not been a lot for him.
Sign of how Greg's developed as a top player. You know, he immediately, if things not going right, he'll swap to another plan.
Yeah, it's having the nerve to do it. Really, the number of times just stick to the same thing and keep going 2 down. It's good to change it when necessary. Simon's gone a bit further with the jack and made a bad lead, but he's rectified it with his second.
His Plender's could go off the green.
Yeah, it's to far this. Can't stop today. Gone out, gone off. Count 1. All of a sudden, back in front. It was looking like Darren, who was dominating proceedings and taking the initiative, and now it's Simon that's back in front, 11-10. Going a distance, going further than he has done. This is the furthest they've been yet. There's not a lot past that jack. All fairly quick after it. Going nice, this. Going nice. If he's anywhere near the road, it won't finish so bad. Might be a yard off, but rather have it than lick it. What can Plenders do? Road looks decent. Road looks decent. All on his pace now. Whether it'll peg. Just needs to bend its head off, and I think it has done. Just won it. Simon just needs to put a yard of running into his last ball. Road was good.
Well, he's running after it himself.
He's trotting. He's trotting, he was actually looking at the other end. An outrageous in off. He's missed his own ball, just going in. Good reply. Good reply. Signals to Plenders. He's got one. Plenders needs to tighten it up. His line, his road was just off. His length was good.
Plenders is trotting after this.
Needs to peg its head off and run. Apart from that, it's all right.
One more to Simon. For the golf enthusiast, I got the Europe of 6.5, 5.5 in front at the moment, and up in 3 games as they're still on the course in Glen Eagles.
Did you play that game, Mel?
Me?
No.
Couldn't hit the ball.
No good at. Not a swinger like that.
No. I used to play tennis.
Tennis? Yeah. I could
There's
see you
only-
with them little skirts, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Still got them. I wear them occasionally, Saturday nights. The only one thing that stopped me being a good tennis player, really, it was the net.
The net. That's more of a goal for me.
I understand that Everton scored a fluke goal to equalise against Liverpool today as well in the last minute.
I wondered why Steve had started crying like that. Oh, good response from Plenders. Right in him.
Good
Played a good one. What can Simon do? Just looks underneath. Needs to stop. Needs to stop. I think it can. I think it's gone out. Plenders has left that a mile short. He kind of delivered it well.
See what he was trying to do there, Darren, unless he was conscious of not wanting to promote the jack to Simon's 2 balls at the back.
Well, if it had hit the jack, it would have given it to Simon, so maybe a bit of discretion was required. Just thinking like where to go. Looks like he's heading up this Bucky's Boulevard edge.
11-12, you can see on the screen. The other game, it's Greg Smith 10, Steve Morrey 9. 2 close games, Andrew.
Yeah, very exciting. The crowd are on the edge of on the edge of the green actually, but you can see they're all enthralled in what's happening. The noise is bubbling away.
Can we run? Can it run?
Just giving up. The Plenders supporters were weeing that. Stroke this out. Stroked it out. Gonna go. Can't stop today. As it falls back twice. Might have done. No, just the one. Just be looking to put 15-incher running in. Sit Darren's ball. Anything really. Can't fail, surely. Good ball, Simon.
Excellent shot. It's not always easy. It's coming from out of the sun into the shade, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Hard to pick a length up. And he has done. And I'd be playing in a cap in these conditions, Mel, just to keep the sun out the eyes.
You've got a new cap.
New cap as
supplied by Bowls For You.
bowlsforyou.com.co.uk/freebies.
I presume you're sponsored for wearing that. You've negotiated the fee.
I'll do anything for a freebie, me, Mel. You know that. I'm easily bought. So if there's anyone out there that wants me to model anything, wear anything, play with anything, you can get in touch with me. via, well, most social networking sites. I think most toilets have my number written on the wall, probably. Unfortunately.
So you don't pay for nothing then, Andrew?
I try not to. I was brought up by two good Yorkshire parents, so I'm very thrifty. Let's put it that way.
I know your mum's a keen viewer, particularly, isn't she? This.
Well, I think she went on holiday today. You know, I can't believe she's missing it, but she does enjoy these, and she sends me texts saying "well done" or "you're rubbish" or whatever. Oh, good ball, Simon.
What a good ball there. Good pair. And Darren's ball, Simon did well to get past it. It's smack on the land, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of them that you've just got to ignore and play as though it's not there. If you hit it, never mind. If you miss it, brilliant. You give Darren something to think about here. What shot to play?
I think he's considering whether or not to strike at it. No. Stroked it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, he's getting after it.
I'm not sure if he's reached. I don't think he's there. Need to run, he'll need to kick it, I think. Yeah,
he has kicked it.
That's what it needed.
I think that's happened sometimes in two minds. I think he was considering how he's going to get past his short ball and shut off fire and try at least save.
Yeah,
and in the end you do nothing, do you?
In two minds there.
Yeah. 15-11.
Just with some of the noise that's coming from the crowd, I think the alcohol's kicking in.
I think what it is Greg seems to be fired himself up, and he's now 11-9 in front, and he's starting, as we said, play a longer distance. Seems to have totally changed his game in this game, Greg, from playing on his little short fast marks, or as they're called over Dudley way, fanny ticklers, and he's stretched out a little bit.
You're allowed to say that on...
That's what they call them in Dudley, short marks, fanny ticklers.
There's lots of stuff goes on in Dudley, but whether we need to talk about it's another matter.
That's what it is. They're not calling it that up your area.
No, that has a totally different meaning, Mel, and you know it. That's just... it's hard to tell if it's gone out, actually. I can't see on the monitor. I can't see how to tell whether that's gone out. I think it's probably just snuck in, actually, but Simon won't be happy with it, and I'm sure Darren won't be happy with it. He'll expect to put something inside doors. This is better already. There's a bit of noise being made now when Simon plays a good one. A lot of support in the crowd for Simon. Nice bloke, as well as an out-and-out proven winner.
On this green as well.
You're correct. I'm not even going to tell you what he's put on his CV, because it's just embarrassing what he's won. Let's just say he's won everything apart from this and the All England.
Well, Plenders, he's played at it.
He's played at it.
Not a mile away.
It's close. He needs
just
a peg.
Outside.
He's done his own, you know. He's done it his own. Left him two. Giving him two. Giving him two. Massive ball. Gone wrong. $17.
52, yes, 17-10, 4 from home.
11. He's played the right ball, really, but if he was going to miss it, he couldn't really miss it on that side.
4 away from a second Champions final, lost on here 2 years ago to John Finch from Merseyside.
Simon's playing this finger peg mark into that toilet corner. Can't get to back. Looks on a decent road. all on his pace now. Oh, it's pulling away. Just short, you see. That's what happens when you're short. Pulls it tight. Davins crabbed that out. Give it more to do, but it didn't come out nice. Should peg a bit. Needs to run more than anything. Just wipes his face. Knows he's missed a big opportunity there. Simon giving bags of room. Ooh, it looks. Oh, he's tight with this. Surely can't hold that line. Got to be inside it. Got to peg. Not gonna beat his first. Oh, this is your chance.
Yeah, never got a better chance than this. Probably the nearest ball's 2 yard off.
Didn't get it out clean again, but even so, he's just hope he hasn't whooshed it. No, he hasn't. It's good ball this. Took the opportunity.
No, surely we're going to go along the north stand edge. He played so well against Ryan Prosser in his last game.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that's where he should be going.
Not even thought twice, pick the jack up and look straight at it. And the other game, it's Greg Smith 14, Steve Morrey 11.
He's playing the left-hander's finger peg, the right-hander's thumb peg. Let a good one. Good ball. Round peg, bias to the ditch. Simon will be trying to beat it. I know it sounds daft, but that's obviously the idea of the game. But that's not where he wanted it. That's not in the game at all. There, short and a bit in the way. Blenders puts another one in. Just misses his own, goes past it. That's a good spot there. That's a really good position. He'll be very happy about the way this end's turning out. Simon, all he can do is try and save. If he saves, he might win it. Well, he's giving it a chance. Needs to fall over now, fall back. No.
2 to Darren. Back in it.
Different proposition now.
Simon's not conceded yet. He has now. It's 14-17 from 11-17. Right back in it.
This is the big end. This is the one he needs to count. This is the one he needs now. He needs to plant a lead. He's waving it on. Doesn't think he's sent it, and he hasn't. That was the one. Simon will breeze one in here. No doubt about it. Playing too well not to miss opportunities like that. Well, it wins it. It was not a good one. Still room.
Yeah, you can still get around that. Darren's hesitating really. Whether just get outside it. Can't get on the inside, I don't think. No, alright.
Oh, needs a miss. Needs a miss. Yeah, wafted it in. All the way up to it.
If Simon can see that and it's only one, I think he'll be firing at that. Yeah.
Oh, he's done his own armpit job. Now then, all of a sudden, wow.
From 11-17, 16-17.
We like it when these games boil over, Mel.
Yeah.
It's what the crowd wants.
Well, it's happening in the other game as well, because Greg had a 4-5 shot lead and Steve Morris come back in it now. 14-13, still Greg leads, but the advantage is down to one shot.
Stuck to it. Stuck
likes
to it.
this.
Splendors is after it.
He's running after there, jogging after it.
Yeah, not so bad. Just trickled a foot too more than he would have liked, but it's not so bad. Gives Simon all sorts of problems. Can this peg? Can this bend? It can. What a good response. Good ball.
Well, he's firing at it. Oof, missed it.
Probably a bit fortunate there. He nearly took his own out. And just to rub salt into the wounds.
Yeah, good ball, Simon.
That
Just as he got back in.
That was from a good lead.
Yeah, 1916.
I'm sure I can hear a lady's voice above the crowd that we might be seeing tomorrow, you know.
Well,
I think somebody's been taking drink.
who may be the Waterloo champion.
That could possibly be the Waterloo champion that we can hear above the crowd.
I'll be favourite for this as well tomorrow. Although I understand she's on the karaoke tonight in the Waterloo.
Yeah, if you want to save your hearing, please go to any other pub in the Blackpool area. It will not be pretty.
Simon probably look from the mat, probably nearer than it is, probably 4 feet off. Darren needs to get in straight away.
He does. He needs this to just run a little bit now.
Looks alright, the pace.
Looks alright, needs to miss that ball. Miss it anywhere. Yeah, good and now. Very good. Put the pressure back on Simon. Can't afford to give a 2 away. Needs to get this as close as he can. Well, he's give it a chance. Give it a big chance. Needs to pick the jack up. What a good ball that is. Needed that. Got a shot for 2. Got a shot for 2.
This.
He likes it.
Little trot.
He likes it. Nearly done it, you know. Nearly done it. Oh, what a good ball. What a great ball.
Brought the crowd to life. He liked it from the off, his little trot. Looked very much like a dressage pony going across the green there.
Going for this east stand edge.
That was a big ball.
A massive ball, Mel, really was. Not. He likes this one. Likes this one, just needs to bend now. Bend now all the way down to it. That's not so bad, you know. Not so bad at all. Now then, Simon, what can you do? What can you do? Peg hard, he says. Peg hard. Can't. Given up.
Good shot of where they're coming from.
Now then, Plenders. Now then, Plenders. Don't get too close. Oh, what a good ball. Bit of a target, though. Bit of a target. Underneath.
It's livened everybody up. 2019 Plenderleith.
Now then. Now then, that 2-1 at the start of the game looks absolutely massive. He's gone favourite.
I say that last end a great ball at 16-19 to make 2.
Match-winning balls, Mel. That's what these good players do regularly. They make it look easy.
He's going down the east stand, down to the hotel, down to the pub. a little bit more of a push that way, Andrew.
It's a little bit, not as much today as it normally is.
But
he's going off. He sent it off. Oh no!
Disaster.
Oh, Darren. Bit of adrenaline, I think. Saw the winning line. Adrenaline pumping through his veins.
He's got to just put that straight out of his head, hasn't he? And just concentrate on the land where Simon's going to send it. Needs to punish it. Must get a good bowling straight away. Simon must remember can finish himself this end. Just needs a double. Sent it into the middle of the green. Strange mark for Simon to set.
He's hoping that Darren's going to overplay or overcorrect, just anything other than play a length. That's what he's hoping. If he nails one, well.
He likes it. Likes it.
Yeah. Needs to peg. Well, it's one of them. It's not a great ball, but might be happy with it.
Well, Simon set the mark. He knows the length. He knows the pace needed.
Wins it all week. Good reply. Now then, Plenders, you've got it all on. If he doesn't beat that, you've got to feel that Simon will get game. They can't see. Sun in their eyes. Need one of my caps. Now then, Plenders. It's come out nice. Likes it. Oh, don't hit that ball. Needs to sit it. Oh!
He needed it full.
Oh, Darren.
Well, Simon, he's just got to repeat his first bowl and he's in the final of the Flowfit Champion of Champions.
Has he sent it? He has. It's a double.
Yeah,
double
he's done it. Well, Coupe wins. Well, how unfortunate. Darren just sending the jack off when he got into the position. 2019, he played two superb ends to come from 16, 19 adrift, and then that's what happens.
I'm feeling for him. I don't think he's going to sleep tonight. He might not sleep all weekend.
Well, there's Simon. Mighty relieved Simon Coupe.
Yeah, bad knee and all.
That game.
Oof. Doesn't look flustered, does he? No.
Well, we're going to be swapping over in a moment and try and get on to the other game. And that one is also very close. It's currently 16-14 to Steve Morrey. Greg Smith was 14-10 up. Steve's currently on a 6 break, but Greg's in here going for a double. Yeah, 2 to Greg. Oh, we have another game on here. That's now 16 across. Greg Smith in red, Steve Morrey in blue. 2 great semi-finals we got here. And Greg, again, as we spoke about while we was concentrating on the game, he's going a long way. All through this game he's playing probably 40 yards. Completely changed his game.
Yeah, and it was working up until a few ends ago, and then it was Stephen. They've almost been playing the same game. They've been
Good
matching
ball,
each
yeah.
other.
Good lead here.
Yeah, good un. Playing the left-handers thumb peg, right-handers finger peg. Finish maybe 2 foot past the jack. Rather have it than lick it. Steve's reached with this. Can he tickle that jack? Needs to tickle it. Just gone now, you see. Just finished. He'll just be wanting to take that little bit of running out. Improve on his lead. Run away, somebody shouted in the crowd. Just needs to put your size 10 behind it, Greg.
willing it on now. A lot of noise coming from the terrace in here with the Warwick and Worcester contingent. Urging their hero on.
Yeah, I think he'll be very quiet if he's not in the final. No flanks man and a Potteries man, a Cheshire man, sorry. It'll be a very quiet affair. He's changed peg. Come at it on his thumb peg now. Needs to hit something, he's to far, otherwise needs the jack. Oh, he's got the jack! Has he done enough? Don't know.
No indication from young Greg.
Greg's just looking, well, disgusted really, that's the only word for it. Can't believe he's had the audacity to pick the jack up.
Well, that's not in it.
Kick one out. Oh, med 2. What a massive ball that is.
18-16.
4 chalk swing, 2 up to 2 down. Greg can't believe it. Steve's picked the jack up and gone back towards the corner they've just come from. We're wanting to lead one. The crowd's gone a little bit quiet after that ball. Well, he doesn't like it. He's waving it on. He's waving it on. He's urging it on as far as it'll go. Gonna finish what, 4 feet, 5 feet even.
In the shadows as well. Probably the greens pace is probably going out the green just a little bit down under this this west stand, Andrew, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always does go a little bit heavier once the sun goes off it. This is further, better ball clear. Good and now. That's a response. That's a good response.
It is, yeah. And Greg a few years ago, after seeing that last end, he'd just stick in his head for the next 10 minutes, but he's matured a lot. Well, he realises them things can happen.
Further with this.
Is it near us?
I think he might be in back of his own or tight. Needs to get these 2.
If he can get the 2 back. Well, he's after it. He's running like he did when he ran down the wing for the Villa.
Can it reach? Can it get? Labouring.
Ooh. Yeah, disappointed for that.
Yeah, big opportunity. Still.
You know, Greg obviously was on the Villa books, a big Villa fan, and he bowls for West Bromwich Albion Supporters Club. How about that?
I've always said you Midlanders are a bit mental. I didn't know they had any supporters, West Brom.
Yeah, we know 1 or 2, yeah.
The mighty Clarets are taking them on tomorrow down at wherever they play, at the Hawthorns.
Yeah.
3 points for the Clarets.
A good win the Baggies did last week at Tottenham.
Tottenham gifted them 3 points. They won't get any gifts tomorrow off the mighty Clarets. This is a bit of a gift for Steve. 2 yard short at least. Well, just needs to miss it. Just needs to miss it and run. Won't finish so bad, will it? Oh, still a yard. It has gone a little bit heavier in these shaded areas now. Sun's gone off it, slowing down a touch.
Well, Greg's had 3 attempts to deliver this ball.
4.
Normally when he does that, and when he sends it, it's usually a good one.
Well, I'm not sure about that, Mel. I'm not sure about it. Better.
Yeah, and I said, they always come out when he eventually releases, and you won't send them till he's settled.
Now then. Steve's having a bit of a think about this. There is a shot on the other hand. They could play a couple of yard over, ramble through, jack a ball. The angle's there for it. Oh, he plays a dead draw on the backhand. Sorry, thumb peg.
You're practicing with the super.
I am. Well, he's gone for the dead draw on the thumb peg. He's not reached. He'd been better rambling through.
Yeah, I think you're right. He should have gone on the backhand, as he called it.
Well, I think it's backhand, isn't it? I'm sure he's backhand.
Well, the backhand was something my mother used to give me.
Well, you might get one in a minute if you can't on. Dear me. I still think they need subtitles for you. $18 apiece.
Yeah.
Mat down, jack out. On for the northeast corner. Well, towards the northeast corner, just tight of it. Left hander's finger peg. Do you know, I don't know where they get all the energy from, Mel. They're after every ball.
Oh, yesterday Ben Harris was amazing.
What a good ball, what a good lead. I think maybe that's the way forward for me. I'm going to have to run after everything next year. Run after a bag of washing, I think. Well, Steve, this is on a road, by the way. This is on a road. Picks it up. What a good reply that is. Oh, the crowd are loving it. Absolutely loving it. Sent it at the first time of asking. An inch to back for me. Just outside the road for me.
Yeah.
And to far. Now then.
From Andy, just put it outside the line of the jack.
Now then, Steve.
Has to be careful.
Yeah. Safest peg, I think, is if he turns over, but I think on a length, I don't think you can put him in, but just if he's overplayed, I think he might turn over. Doesn't do an awful lot. Yeah, he's turned over. Coming finger peg. He's underneath the ball anyway. Won't hit the ball. I think he's too far. Needs to stop. Yep, just stopped. Good two. Good two, that. All but.
20-18.
I think there's another twist in this game yet, Mel. I don't think it's going to be finished this next end. How's that for a prediction?
I would think that Steve will be coming up to that commentary position. He'll be coming as far as he can in the corners without sending the jack off. Just steadying himself a little bit. I've seen his father down there. I've been watching him dive. He's got no fingernails left. And his brother, of course, who went out earlier representing the potteries.
He's been involved in a lot of big games just recently.
You just seem comfortable on this Waterloo green over the last couple of years.
Yeah, well, if you remember, there was another man that was comfortable on this green. Rob Eaton always seemed to run well in the big events.
Yeah. Well,
he just needs to run this. Just needs to run. Just needs to run, and it's a real one. Bit of trickle now. Well, he's disappointed with it. The ref's saying it's nearly a yard off.
It looks nearer from where young Greg's standing.
Yeah, but it looks like a nose ender. Oh, one.
They're counting in the crowd.
Yeah. Oh. Roaded. Good ball this. What a good response that is. Punch of the air. Yeah, they're not counting now, he says.
Yeah.
Count that one. Only needs a yard in.
Well, in this same position, I remember Steve played a fantastic bowl against Graham Wilson.
He needs to find one here. I hope he hasn't got underneath it. I hope he hasn't got underneath it. He needs to peg. On a length, it's okay. On a length, it's okay. It's a... Wee! Good ball, good ball. Now then.
Greg's firing at this.
Relying on a strike.
Yeah, well, his firing's been very, very good today, Greg. But this is the most important one of the lot.
We wait. Oh. Can't let go of it. Now then. Close, he's close. He's got it!
Done it!
Oh. What a hit! Worth the wait. Definitely worth the wait.
Well, he's had so many good hits today. More hits than the Beatles. He's hit everything. That was, fantastic ball.
You getting emotional there, Mel? Oh, so you're filling up there?
A frog in my throat.
Oh.
I need a drink.
Oh, well, so do I. Oh, I thought you were welling up.
Nobody's supplied us with any drinks.
No, we've not had any drinks supplied. It's disgraceful service. Well, where does he go, Mel? What would you do?
I think go somewhere different, Andrew.
Yeah.
Perhaps say he's looking along this edge. Not played along here all through the game.
He's not gone so far. Has he led one? Live and let live sort of a ball.
A little bit of room.
Little bit. Steve's wafting it. Wants it to bend. Wants it to peg its head off. Wants it to turn a triple Salco. Not going to do it.
Yeah, Greg's just checking with Mike Potter, referee.
Oh, he's having another look. Wasn't sure. Oh, he is now. Smith. Just, he's after it. He's put it down light for me.
You sure?
What do I know?
You sure?
What do I know?
Well,
he's beat his first.
The young lad lies up, can't do nothing more. I think Steve may well fire at these, try and take the two out.
You could be right. See, they'd had a lick of football. What would you do, Mel?
I'd fire and try and take the two out, I think.
Relied on his drawing ability, as in if he's narrowed it 1 inch, it wins it. Needs a hit, it goes. Flop. Oh, but nobody knows. His supporters think he's won it.
Yeah. There's some of his lads from Cheshire.
Looking at the monitor, that's won it. He's kicked that one out as Greg.
He's coming to shake hands.
Morrey won.
Well, that was a great bowler, Steve. He had to show some fantastic composure there, didn't he? Greg lay up.
That was a superb ball. Nerves of steel. Absolute nerves of steel.
You can see what it means to the crowd there. One of his fans is on the green, look. Well, predictions, Andrew.
Oh, ask me one on sport. I don't know, Mel. It's if the form goes like the semis, it's just going to be 20 apiece, 1 ball shootout, something like that. But if it just depends what state of mind Steve's in, if his previous final appearance with Simon Praise on his mind, or whether he can put that to one side and just get on with his game. Who knows? It depends which one turns up. I'm surprised that Simon's started off on this mark, but
well, your mentor Gary Ellis felt Simon might just do this.
Well, there you go. You see, I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, but I don't know. I think Simon's just got a bit more all-round knowledge of the green, and taking Stephen around the green, makes a lot of sense, really.
I'll ask you the same question as I just asked Gary. Is that going to stick in the mind from a couple of years ago when Simon saw Steve off 21-6? Are these players just mature enough just to said, well, that was a different day, or can it stick in the mind?
Well, I think it can stick in the mind. I mean, if you asked me about Gary, then it wouldn't, because he just forgets stuff like that. Me, for instance, I'd never forget it, and I'd have to work hard to get over it. But everybody's different. It just depends. I don't know Steve well enough to tell you what sort of a person he is.
Depends on the start.
Yeah, absolutely,
Simon's 2-0, and if he gets away from him like he did in the Waterloo, just the memories come back, don't they? I had a crowd rendition of God Save the Queen there. Was that for me?
I'm not sure. It could have been for Lynn, actually. I didn't realise it was just so late in the day, Mel. It's 5:45. I mean, I'm hoping to get back to my hotel. We've got a David Bowie tribute act on tonight. The bloke is a joiner from Rochdale. He goes by the name of Ziggy Sawdust.
Right, okay.
I think he starts at 7:30.
You're going to be painting your face with a few lightning bolts or something like that?
Possibly.
No, Steve needs to rest it.
It's an interesting tactic Simon's employing, going round peg from middle of the edge to the middle of the next edge.
I think you say Gary Ellis's prediction seems correct.
Well, he's got to get something right, hasn't he?
Today,
to be fair.
but the only thing he has got right.
Yeah.
At least you remember to turn up at the right day. Yeah.
Well, even then he was late. From what I can gather, he went to practice at wrong green. I think this is a tactic, if my memory serves me right, Dick Merrick used to employ, back in the day, round the green like this, breaking players' lengths up.
Yeah. Now then, Steve, need the jack.
Done it. Double. Great ball.
Well, that should give him confidence. Almost the entire green is now in shadow.
Still got spectators just randomly walking all over the green, which is a bit bizarre. I still can't get my head round that. There you go. At least we've not had any pitch invasions just yet.
No.
Well, I suppose there's time for that.
There is, yeah.
Steve's trying to get into the corners where he had a bit of success with Greg Smith. Played a decent lead. See, that's a good shot. Simon's not having any of that round peg lark. He's turned over straight away. Better angle, jack a ball. Needs a connection. Oh, just missed.
And obviously this is one event that Simon wants on his really impressive CV. It's just eluded himself, hasn't he? He must have qualified for this on many occasions.
I can't imagine there's been a year in the last 10 years he's not qualified for it, but he's won all sorts. Waterloo twice, Hillcrest, Brighouse, Spen Victoria twice, Brown Edge, and I can think of a few others that he's got on his CV. Those are just the big ones. Needs to run. Can't get on to Morrey.
Well, I'm sure Steve's going to be heading up to the hotel corner.
It's all quite tense out there, Mel, you know. I don't think it's the final they were expecting.
Well, so many twists and turns. 5 minutes before the end of the semi-final, it looked like Smith and Plenderleith.
Absolutely, yeah. Which I think would have kept the crowd a bit more entertained. Not to say that
well entertained, because they've just been informed that Waterloo Hotel's run out of beer. Well, they've got his Coors Light left, apparently. When I popped in there, the pub was rammed. People watching it on the screens. It's been streamed into the hotel.
Well, if anyone in there is watching this and they feel like sending a pint of Coors Light up to the commentary position, that'd be very nice.
Good bowl, Simon.
4 pints, sorry, the production team has just nudged me.
Now then, Steve, can you put a yard in?
He's after it. You know, he likes it. He needs to peg just underneath. Hard lines, good effort. We're looking just for the same again. Try to replicate it. Just trickling past.
Well, we're all square again. 3 across. We could be on overtime tonight, Andrew.
Nothing unusual in that, Mel.
No.
I always like to get the job done. Stay till it's finished and all that.
Just remind everybody we're back here tomorrow, live streaming the Ladies Champion of Champions from 2 o'clock. Play starts at 10. Sure to be some great play, some good play last year from the ladies. Thoroughly enjoyed it, didn't you, Andrew?
There was indeed. There were some tremendous displays. There was. All I remember is some orange and black bulls. I think the winner played with them, if I remember. They should beat Katrina in the final. Helen Gilroy. You see? I do remember things. Thank you. I watched a play on here last week after the Waterloo Cup between Yorkshire and Shropshire, and she was a little bit worse for wear trying to send them. They were going everywhere. It's tremendous.
Oh, a bit like that one of Steve's.
Yeah, it's just caught him out here. Just played out of the corner. Steve's probably thought it's not as far, but it is. Well, this won't finish so bad. Yeah, good ball, Cuddly Symes. What Steve's striking. Decided he can't do anything else about it. Gonna have a go. Watching it, stalking it. He's gonna stop on, I think. Is it?
Will it
Is
stop?
it? Will it?
Will it
No,
stop?
not now. Look how bare it is in that, just round that corner.
Yeah, good hit there from Steve.
Yeah, was.
Yeah, another thing he's done is change the mark.
If that had been me, Mel, it would have stopped on. I'd have still been 2 down. Yeah. The funny thing is, there's been a lot of talk recently about best players in the game and who's number 1 and who's, this, that and the other. This is a man that's never been mentioned. Simon Coupe, been around an awful long time, been winning big comps for a long time. He played in the Bass Masters regularly when it was shown back in the early to mid 90s. He's been winning big stuff for a long time, and no one ever says, what about Coupe? I think he's right up there, me.
He is.
I'm a massive fan of Simon's. In fact, I'm probably his biggest fan.
Well, has he reached?
It won't be so bad, might just be a yard or 2 short. Yeah, 5 feet. A lot deeper in the corner now from where he's been playing in the past.
I would think the bookmakers are reasonably pleased with this final as it turned out. And if you saw that Greg was 1-4, there must have been shed loads of money on young Greg.
Well, I know when the bus from the Midlands turned up outside the gates, the first thing they did was pay to get in. The second thing was go to the bookmakers and put their wagers on him. So I think they were quite happy when Greg Smith went out. I think they were very happy when Gary Ellis and Graham Wilson went out also. I don't think they'll be too down.
Well, this is further, Steve, a lot further.
Yeah, just needs to miss them all. Just pass them. Can he miss? Can't go out, surely.
It's gone.
Wow.
Gone.
Got a little bit scrappy this game all of a sudden. Looking like, off that shot, I'd say it were 2. Gone a little bit scrappy. You find that in finals sometimes, but in nerves. And it's not the fear of losing, it's the fear of winning, you know. I read a lot of sports psychology books, and it's not the fear of losing, it's the fear of winning.
What the hell are you on about?
I'll read a book to you one day, Mel. It'll be easier than getting you to learn to read anyway. Do you know,
nursery rhymes or
I'm working with people who need educating.
Got a tweet here from
you keep tweeting.
Sam, one of the Blue Border teams, wanted to know why has Andrew Cairns changed his hat?
I thought I made that clear. It was a sponsorship deal. Nike weren't paying enough. bowlsforyou.co.uk / the country's biggest bowls provider. Asked me to wear a hat. I said, yeah, that's fine. No problem. And you didn't like the luminous yellow. You said it was glaring.
It was, yeah. It was shining in my eyes a little, yeah.
So I've gone for the Burnley colour.
Yeah, I don't blame you. There you are. If you still want to join in, last part of today's production. Twitter stream @Live Bowls. You can also comment on Andy Cairns' dress if you wish. Oh, he's not wearing a dress.
I'm glad you've pointed that out.
Yeah.
I noticed I've been dumped from the opening part of the show now where you talk to me. Apparently I've got a face for radio, which isn't very nice.
No, just a minute. You were invited in, Andrew, at the start at 2 o'clock, and you declined getting up, climbing through a window and getting on a roof with me.
Health and safety, Mel. That's all I'm going to say on that matter.
You'll be introducing and opening the ladies tomorrow.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. Do you know, did I tell you I was having car trouble on the way this morning? We're making some very strange noises. 2 good balls from Simon. Back to the bowling. Some of us don't get them that close in our bags.
Well, Steve really needs to get in the game quickly, doesn't he? You know, we'll say the memories just come back from a couple of years ago. Over the top, 2 more to Simon.
Yeah. I'll tell you now, Mel, it's going through his mind. As he's walking across the green with his hand in his pocket, it's going through his mind. Oh, I got 6, didn't I? You can see it.
Hand in pocket, head down. Shaking his head. Needs to pull himself together. No, it's still a long way to 21.
It is.
No, a long way this. if Steve does get in, I'm not sure what he'll do. I'm not saying he's a one-trick pony by no means, but he's playing the sort of length Simon is that Steve would want to play, and sometimes someone has to change, isn't it?
That's right.
Although he can, I mean, he won Wharton Cons this year, and he beat me in the last 16, and I was something like 26-16 up on Steve, and he played a short mark along the edge, and he played really, really well, and just beat me in the end, and went on to win it. So you know, he can alter his game, I know, but he needs to get in very quickly.
Yeah, that's right. If you think back to the Waterloo though, when he got beat with Dan Jones, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was in a world of pain up and down an edge, only going 20 yards, and I'm not sure whether he's comfortable over that distance, but we'll see. I mean, the way Simon's playing, he's not looking like getting in. He's seen the prize and he's going for it. Only the one here. Tremendously calm bowler is Simon, doesn't get flustered very easily.
This ball, is it outside again? Can it get inside?
Hit something. Can't change much. No change.
One more. (8-3).
If I remember rightly, when he was in the final with John Finch a couple of years ago, I think he went into an early lead.
Yeah, and John played tremendous. He went into the corners, didn't he, from our commerce division down to the toilet corner of his nose, and he placed them all around it. And Simon's played really well coming this mark he's playing now, just thumb bias round the crown. You know, he's not a million miles away with this one again.
Yeah, it's a good lead. Yeah, nothing up with that. Nothing up at all.
Just there, Andrew. Now he's played 5 bowls like that, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Last three.
I've just seen an incredible sight that doesn't happen very often. Mike Holding with 3 drinks in his hands. He's obviously been to the bar.
Yeah,
somebody's giving him some money, definitely. Decent response, but just too narrow. Missed it on the tight side. Simon will be wanting to ram another run in there. Put the pressure right on, ramp it up. Needs to run, needs to finish.
Just over the top a little bit.
Yeah. Not what he was wanting. Give Steve a free shot at that ball. There's a 2 shot to be played here. He might just strike, a bit more confident in his striking ability.
I think you're right, Andrew. A couple of yard on.
No.
Don't like it.
Giving up.
Giving it up. It turned his back on it.
He can't flick Simon's bowling, can he? Oof. That would have been the end of the game.
Steve's body language doesn't look too great at the moment. Head down, walking across the green. He just needs to put it out. Needs to get back on song as play as he has been playing. Against Greg Smith, we saw him chasing his bowls and urging them in. We haven't seen any of that at the moment. There he is, shaking his head.
Yeah.
Come on, Stephen, pull it together. Big moment, champion of champions, finals. You have to make the most, Andrew. You know, you might never get another opportunity.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mel. He just looks a little bit resigned at the moment. Couple more ends, and if Simon counts them, you know, there might not be any way back. He needs to get that confidence level up. He needs to get himself going a little bit. What a good lead, though. See, that's the thing Simon's so good at. Doesn't give you room. All Steve can do is try and get one close and reach with his next.
Good effort.
Yeah, very good effort. Good spot as well. Gives him something to play with. And Simon's got to be a little careful.
Simon's just asking who's in. Simon. I know
Referees,
you're not a good judge, but you've got near enough a touch of there, mate.
referee weren't for telling him.
No. Well, quite likely, you have to ask, don't you?
Absolutely. We're a couple of thousand people around green, you'd think you might not have to. Has he reached? Looks short to me. Couldn't afford to ramble through. Just given up. Just the one. Bet it's banging the way though. Steve's having a think about it. Might only be able to get at it finger peg. Well, he's reached up at it. Not massively overplayed, but he's certainly arrived. Close. Knocked him another. No, knocked it too far. (10-3), nearly halfway there. I think he just needs to get himself going a bit.
Probably a bit hard to judge as well. I mean, it looks quite in shadow now, isn't it, Andrew? The old green. The pictures on the screen actually make it a little bit brighter than it is out there. Should have changed and blocking hand with the green just dying a little bit. Simon's making, best use of it. A lot of laughter going on the terrace. I don't know what's happened there.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with me, Mel. Promise you. Yeah, good un.
Really playing well coming this way into coming to the west stand.
He's leading marvellously. Well, Steve. Well, Steve. What can we say? Oh, just given up. Hard lines. Well, certainly reached. It's a far missing. Well, you can't play too far over, just got to be reaching. Just got to arrive at the end, sit the ball out for two.
That's what he needs. He needs a shot like that just to give him a bit of confidence, isn't it?
Looks tight. Just tight. I think a lot of the crowd are making their way out. I've seen enough. I think they're trying to catch that Ziggy Sawdust tribute act.
Just having a look back on the Twitter. Jim's still watching down in Aylesbury. He thinks Simon could show up well in the Super Bowl as well. I don't know how much he plays on the flat game at all, Andrew. Yeah.
He's as far as I know, he doesn't play, and he hasn't been to practice yet. He's hoping to go this following week. He's got some. He's just got some shoes today.
We had a comment as well saying it's a great commentary today, Andrew.
We aim to please. Not everyone has the ability to talk rubbish like me and you, Mel.
That's
you know
right,
that.
yeah. That's why we got the job, I think.
He's led another, you know. He's not doing anything wrong here. Playing absolutely brilliantly.
Oh, great ball, Steve.
He needed that. Let's hope it gives him a bit of hope. What's Simon doing? He's reached at it. Looks tight. Just tight, is it? No! What a great ball!
Fantastic shot. That's just a killer, isn't it, for Steve, after he's played a wonder ball there. And he's seen it taken away from him again. Can he put it back again?
He's just got to reach at this. Reach at it and hope. Got to hope there's something in the way. Jack a ball, and he'll do. Oh, just underneath.
2 more. 13-3. I don't know what's going on next door, but I think the Indians are on the warpath. I think the war drums are beating.
It's called modern music, Mel.
Modern music.
It's dance music, bit of house music or something. Techno bass.
Radio bass next door suddenly kicked up. They're obviously in training. It's certainly not the Ziggy Stardust show of yours, Andrew.
Oh.
Simon's here again. Another great lead. Good ball, lad.
Superb. Putting in a masterclass here.
Remind the winners of this, thanks to sponsorship and FlowFit, receive £1,000 first prize.
Now then, Mel, here's a question for you. How come the winner of this doesn't get in next year's Champ of Champions?
Well, that's right. It's a question that's been asked before, isn't it? Whether the reigning champion gets in or not. But
It should, in my view, they should get in. It should be the first qualifier for next year.
done it again. Just had an immaculate length, and he's playing the same bias both ways, isn't he?
Yeah,
thumb both ways, round the crown. Don't know if that was a certain tactic to play, Steve. Now Steve struck again.
Missed again.
15-3. There's just no way back, is there?
I don't think there is. It's got dark for him, and I actually get the feeling if Simon put his hand out and offered to shake his hand, I think he'd take it. I think he's in a myriad of pain out there.
It's such a shame he's played so well. There you can see the scoreboard. 15-3. There's Mandy Paget.
Yeah, she'll be happy.
Absolutely delighted if Simon wins it, representing the Tony Paget Memorial Competition.
Got an empty wine glass nearly. That's not like Mandy.
They must have run out of wine in the pub as well. And it is for organisers of these qualifying events. It is great for your tournament, isn't it, Andrew? If your champion can go on and become the British champion. Well,
I think Mandy especially, she puts so much time and effort into it. It's one of the few 256th century competitions left in the game. She fills it in a day. Mm-hmm. She has, from what I can gather, 100 changes to the programme every time, but even so, she loves running it. And it's a labour of love for her, and to see Simon win this just puts the top hat on it all.
And of course she does it for Tony, who was her uncle, who was tragically killed, and he was a fine player himself. Tony Paget played for our county side down there and won a few tournaments himself.
It's just a shame really, after those two semi-finals we had. We were hoping that we'd have something just the same in the final, but maybe it's too much to ask. You know, they were fantastic games. Well, Steve, I think he's been unlucky. Grazed the jack and gone out. Good ball, but not to be. It's just not going to be his day. I think it's one of them you've just got to, forget about. I've been in the final, but Oh well.
We just had a tweet here from Craig Morrey, one of his relations, obviously watching this, and just says Steve's done fantastic to reach the final, and the family are really proud of him.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the way he's got to look at it. He can't be too disappointed. There's 30 other bowlers who would love to be where he is now, and they'd probably take the scoreline as well.
There's a few hundred in the country who'd love to be where he is now. Not just today, Andrew, is it?
No, you're absolutely right. It's a great achievement, and I'm sure at the start of the day it'd have bit your hand off if you'd have said you're going to be in the final. Sometimes you just come up against an opponent that's on top form. You just cannot do anything with it, and I don't think it's anything negative towards Steve. It's all positive stuff about Simon, really. He's played for 20 minutes, superb, brilliant bowls.
And if the game continues as it is, Steve Morrey's got to look at the positives. That he's beat Graham Wilson today. He's beat Callum Wright, 2 players who are in the top few in the country. And then Greg Smith, who's
he's the form man.
He's the form man. He's got 3 tremendous scalps and Richie Goddard in between. So he can be very, very proud of that. Whatever happens in the remainder of this game,
correct.
Currently gone. From any negatives, you have to find some positives, don't you, Andrew? And they're all positives. He's reached another Waterloo final, and I'm sure it won't be the last we see of Steve. He's developed into a really great all-round player. So not gone right for him now. That's 18-3, and I'm sure at this moment in time, as you said, he just wants the ground to probably swallow him up. But he can hold his head high in what he's achieved.
It's a lonely place out there when you're this sort of score behind, and you just want to get off as quick as you can. Get in the bar, have a few beers, forget about it.
Well, Simon's just done it again. He's played so close, hasn't he, on this run? And wasn't it 3 across?
It was 3 across, yes. And from that point, the worst ball he's played was at the last end when he made a 5-foot short lead. Every other lead has been within a foot of the jack or closer. Absolutely brilliant display. The sort of player that Simon is just sublime some days. And then he sprays one like that. Yeah.
You and your big mouth.
Me and my big gob.
Say 2 years ago when he lost in the final to John Finch, this is how John played, wasn't it? Against
That's right,
him.
he did. He did.
It was fantastic.
Well,
now Stephen.
Big squat. Oh, you're just going to go tight. No, good ball. Great ball.
Yeah, great round of applause.
He's having to lick 10-inch balls just to get a decent score.
Yeah, I think all the crowd, particularly his Cheshire mates, are willing him on. Nobody wants to see this sort of anticlimax to the event, and after they perform so well to get there.
He's just got to try and make it a bit more respectable. If he gets to 10, you don't know what happens then, but he's just going to have to try and get to 10, make the score line a bit better reading, and see what happens. I mean, he's got an absolute mountain to climb. It's not beyond the realms of possibility, but it's the way Simon's playing. He's going to have to do a bit of a Devon Lock sort of a performance to lose this.
Oh, yeah. Well, 2 yards short.
Yeah. And even when he's not played a length, it's the jack and stays in. 2 yarder running, that's what he needs to put in. 2 yarder running. If it's anywhere near the jack, he'll be happy. Yeah, just won it. Give him something to beat. That's all he can do.
Firing.
Simon's gone for gold. Surprised he's stuck there.
Found the gap.
The way Simon's playing, I thought he'd just tried to beat that. He's more than capable at the way he's playing.
This is where he's coming. He favours this mark finger peg down to this corner. Although he's not. Oh, strange, Andrew. Into the middle of the green, trying to do something different.
Seems to be the fashion this season. Not just running the same now. See it pulling up. He had a perfect road, just not sent it. Might catch Simon out, might catch him out short, and he has.
Another text just saying from would you like to say all the bowlers in crew are really proud of Steve. That's from Mark Ball. Mark Ball, sorry.
He's given this a bit more to do. Passing it on the right side, just needs a length. Anywhere near a length. Not going to reach, is it?
Well,
Short.
Pulling up quick, aren't they?
They are. Game's just changing. Gets away with a few more of these. Gets to 10. All of a sudden, who knows? Going back down to the toilet corner. Thumb peg. Well, I'm not just sure what them two have come dressed as today. And they're certainly brightening the place up.
They have. The future's bright, isn't it? Future's orange, is it, they say?
I didn't know better. I thought it was Jimmy Savile. Just not led. Left it up. 4 feet, 5 feet short. He's not. Well, he's beating it, but not by an awful lot. Just
they're
gone
both in the road, Andrew, aren't they? I don't know whether Steve can get past them or give him a peg.
If he plays a length, he could knock his own ball in anyway. So just stick at that. Needs to run. Needs to run if he misses his own better. Still needs to run.
And Simon just asking who's in.
Yeah, pointed at Simon. Simon just needs to give it a bit of land.
A lot of short bowls being played now, Andrew.
Yeah, well, he's just died a death this last hour. All the pace had gone. As soon as the sun went off it, that was it. Pace had gone.
Oh, Simon won. So he's on a finish. 2 from the title. And if he wins it, and it looks pretty inevitable, he deserves to have his name on this list. When you look at the people who've won this tournament, some of the greatest names who've played this bowls over the last, what's now 41 years this has been running. great names on there. Some sadly no longer with us.
Simon going up to the northwest corner, trying to find 2 good ones for the title and the £1,000 bag of sand. Led one about 2.5 foot off. Shouldn't really be near enough, but who knows? Running back of it.
When it's just not your day.
Yeah, it just sums his day up, that.
Well, we can't say it summed the day up.
No, sorry, sums his final up.
Sums his final up, yeah.
Sums his final
Steve's
up.
day has been excellent, and a day, whatever the end result, he can look back on with pride, really, as we've said before. I'm not sure Simon's got the second one in.
No, hard to tell.
Steve not asked. All he needs to do is just put a couple of feet in his first.
Needs to run. Short. Short. I don't think Simon knows who's in, to be honest. But saying that, he could have 2 touches and he won't be sure.
Oh, we've got no clues.
No, nobody's saying anything.
He's taken the one out. Looking for 2.
Oh, just claimed a 1.
1. Oh, 26. How ironic if it was 21-6, the same as it was in the Waterloo final.
Yeah, yeah. Bowls has a funny way of following patterns like that. Just strolling around the edge of the green, these spectators. Well, has he reached? Not sent it. Yeah, a couple of yards, needs to put it right with his next. Yeah, good. Oh, he's won it. Still short. Should be room for Simon here.
Further.
Definitely. Might be too far.
You seem to be pulling up quick, Andrew.
It's it. Not pulled up just enough now.
One out. There then, Steve.
There you go. Just sent the jack a little bit further than he had been doing. Obviously not a length he was comfortable with. Two.
Yeah. 8:20.
Trying something different up the edge, see if we can get a few more chokes, get these double figures.
Oh, he's put it down nice, Andrew.
Yeah, it's
Put it
okay,
down
this.
Nice. Good bowl.
Good un. Needs a few more of them. Needs to finish. Needs to finish. Won't just get there, I don't think. Giving up.
Must be careful.
Well, I think he should be risking it. Needs to get 2s whenever he can, if he's got any chance of winning this. Oh, Road's brilliant. Road's brilliant. Good ball, this. That's more like the Steve Morrey we've known today. Yeah.
Strike from Simon. It's close.
Oh. No, he's done it. Counted it. Counted the end, surely. Wade in.
That's it, you've won
That's it, Wade in. Count.
Well, fortunate. Big hug there from Louise, his wife. Fortunate finish. Just a deserved victory of Simon. He deserves to be on the honours list for the Champion of Champions. But a word for Steve Morrey. Just wasn't his final, was it, Andrew?
No, that's right. Just that game too far. He'd played absolutely brilliantly, and then he's come up against a man who gave him no room whatsoever. I don't think he can be too downhearted, really. He's played really, really well, and like I say, Simon's given him no room whatsoever. So one of them, you just put it in the memory bank and try and forget about it if you can.
Yeah, a big hug there from Mandy Paget. Hug and a kiss from Mandy Paget. He nearly got one off Dave Waters as well there.
He probably will later on.
Yeah.